Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense. But it makes
yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
My security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living wild. Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Damn it, God damn it.
Yeah!
But I keep to myself, stacking high green. You're in debt to your health, AARP. Ancient open my wealth, and my RP's getting dumber every day. Ha! Up in the gym, but I never need a witness. Tonic and gin, when I work it on my business. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. All natural, better give her sense. They say Blondie, how you getting those abs? Hey Bobby, let me call you a cab. Long legs, I'm a woman in STEM. My eggs, fertile, healthy and STEM. My traits, flowing free like the Thames. And my haters getting madder every day. I'm Becca, I'm God. I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. I'm Becca, I'm God. I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. I'm Becca, I'm God. I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. I'm Becca, I'm God. I'll make you wish you had this hot ride. I'm God. On God,
time for Jim Cornette's drive-thru. Sponsored by Stephen P. Send an email to our crew, buy a cameo or two. It's Jim Cornette's drive-thru.
SDL. Two bad bitches, one hot track. B3CCA, bitch. Two bad bitches, one hot track. Hello, hello. It's that B3 flow. You said you know me? I think you don't. My friends are rich and you're looking hella broke. With Matt, I'm the real rough rider. Can't keep up, my arms must be tired. Slow-mo, super villain, Zack Snyder. You talk shit, but I know you're a subscriber. DSL on our lips cause we're naughty. Hannah Montana acting like Miley. We can't stop cause we're the life of the party. Got your man squirming Scotty too hottie. SDL with a dollar sign ho. B3CCA with the 3 cause I'm cool. Face tat, ass fat, say hey. Two bad bitches, one hot track. Haters got a grip that's priceless. Haters got no dishes that's wifeless. Diamonds in my mouth, I'm priceless. Always ready for a fight, can't try us. You thought I'm a thotty, you thought wrong. Just a hottie with a body and a thought. You wanna fight? Let's get bloody like Carrie. I'm queen of the prom. SDL with a dollar sign ho. B3CCA with a 3 cause I'm cool. Top of the East, now on top of the charts. We're spending our cash and breaking your hearts. Coral. Back in SDL, bitch. Me and Steph are the dream that's inception. Face tat, fat ass, big money, say that. Two bad bitches, one hot track. It's two bad bitches, one hot track. Two bad bitches, one hot track. B3CCA with a 3 cause I'm cool. Top of the East, now on top of the charts. We're spending our cash and breaking your heart. Two bad bitches, one hot track.
Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah!
If I have to hold one more box, I'm gonna snap.
Did you say snap? Step into a Slim Jim! Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim!
B3CCA. Hey, it's Becca, bitch. Yeah. I'm that demon shit. Face card, $1 million. Chasing down cops and robbers. You've been dodging me, I think that's really odd. You're a demon bitch, I'm a god. One punch and I knocked it out. One punch.
What's up, PWT Universe? Are you guys ready for some amazing pro wrestling content tonight?
One kick and you're on the ground.
One kick.
One kick and I knocked it out.
She'll knock you out.
Kid. I'm the queen of this shit, and you're just mid.
You're just mid. What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host. I guess LA Knight took over the show. Sorry, guys, I had my looper on there. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks, the fanatical, the quite frantic, the quite frank Phil Marks. Don't call me Frank. And we are here today on this Wednesday, also Rusev Day. And yeah, we're here to, do the dang thing. Welcome to Pro Wrestle Times. This is the funniest, silliest, most ridiculous pro wrestling live show you've ever listened to. I assure you of that. Chat, how's it going? All of you listening, how's it going? If you're over on X, youtube.com/@Pro Wrestle Clips, is my main channel. Come and sub there. Guys, we're almost at 7K subs, and we're at about 2K. We're about to hit 2K on like the podcast channel, the replay channel. So round of applause for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and showing out in droves. Consider we have more patrons signing up too, so please consider joining Patreon. There's like a free thing too if you want to try it for like a week and muster it. There's over 100 videos on there, so it'll be hard to get them all in that time, I'm sure, right? Especially with everything dropping this summer. Sheesh, there's a lot of shit. I'm like, I won't have time for anything. That WWE Unreal show's dropping on the 29th. I'm like, when am I gonna have time to even watch all this stuff? But yeah, so on Patreon there, consider signing up. Consider becoming a member for only 99 cents on YouTube. If you're a patron or a member, you get access to my Monday live streams. Okay? So consider becoming a member or a patron, and you can gift memberships. You can super chat in, or you can hit dislike, leave a comment, retweet, whatever you got to do. Show some support, show some love. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so we have Dynamite on deck tonight. You guys know that. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez are hacks. Got hacked. Tony Khan is a belt collector, which is great. Okay, that's in the title. He added like 3 new titles or whatever he's going to, or he has concepts of, and this is all leaking out there. And I put a poll in the chat. So if you're on X or if you're on YouTube, come on over to YouTube and vote in the polls in the chat, okay? What title are you most excited for? The unified title? What? The women's tag team title? What? The father and son tag team championships? We're going to talk about that in a bit. Does he mean literally the father and son tag team or does he mean belts that were designed, like, you know how you'd switch up the design of the TNT title? Does he mean like father-son pairing? What does he mean by that? I don't know. Or, of course, the PWT Philmarks flute weight championships, okay? What do you guys like? Let me know. Vote in the polls in the chat. And I appreciate that. Speaking of chat, I'm going to check in with you all. I'm going to first look at this Dynamite card, what we know. Of course, the usual suspects are always just like, man, it's fucking stacked, man. Fully on road to All in Texas. Right? They can't even come up with their own thing, like Road to WrestleMania, you know? But like, yeah, man, it's so fucking stacked. We're locked up. Like, what? So Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Bandito, and fucking Takeshita 4-way for spot in the Casino Gauntlet at All In. Now, here's the problem. These guys will all just be in the Gauntlet at All In, regardless if they win this or not, and that's going to be embarrassing for AEW. And I'm going to point it out and go, why does Tony Khan never stay consistent with booking? So a random 4-way, these are all guys that people hope are in the Casino Gauntlet as well. So why would you put it in people's minds that only one of them could be there? Because I'll tell you why. Tony Khan's going to throw that out the fucking window, and these guys are just going to all be in it anyways. So Mark Briscoe or Roderick Strong are there to eat a pin from Takeshita. Or Bandito, right? So 4-way for a spot in the Casino Gauntlet. You have, again, 4 people where it's like, well, we want all of them in the Gauntlet. And they all more than likely will still be in the Gauntlet. This is fucking terrible, last-minute, shoddy, rough booking, okay? But Willow Nightingale, Athena, so just getting handouts. Athena's getting scrap leftover handouts like Thunder Rosa now. It's fucking so sad. Thunder Rosa, speaking of which, and then Statlander. So again, like 4 people that nobody really wants to see lose and everyone wants to see get pushed forward. Tony's like, you'll all lose, you know, and then you'll all just be in the match anyway, so this was pointless. Yay, wrestling. So Kota Ibushi is taking on Trent Beretta. I just hope no one gets hurt, okay? That's my only concern. Like, Ibushi, don't get hurt. Period. Like, why didn't they just have him come back at All In and let the crowd pop? Or maybe he can actually go. I'm just really worried he's going to get hurt again. He's getting hurt every time he's gotten physical since he's come to America. We're the kids in America. Whoa. So the Hurt Syndicate will appear live. And it's so funny how MJF's in the group. It's so like, it would just work better if Lashley was like world champ or something, though. And then, because like clearly MJF is ultimately going to beef with Lashley in like a one-on-one match for sure. Like, what else is he angling for? Lashley's an actual star, you know? And I mean, what else could this ultimately be leading to, right? It's got to just be MJF and Lashley throw down. And I'm here for that. It's funny, like the route they're taking, but it's like comedic and goofy is the problem. Hopefully MJF can like rebuild his value off of some good programs here. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that, I guess. So this is stacked, I guess. Only 4 matches. You think this guy would be melting down? Only 4 matches? Only 4 matches? If it was Fed, he'd be like melting down. There should be more women's matches. Right? But it's all good. Shout out Drain Bamager. And yeah, that is my preview. So let me check in with chat. Pardon me. Lincoln Hawk gifted 5 pro Wrestle Clips.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you very, very much, my good friend. Yeah, guys, memberships are 99 cents Canadian. So if you're in the States, that's like 30 cents American. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. It's getting pretty bad out here, guys. No, gifted 5 pro Wrestle Clips memberships. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, and you can gift memberships. That's awesome. I believe in Jew Henry. Okay. No. Is he Jewish? It's not WWE, so all good. Say his religion, he appears. I came on at the perfect time. It's always the perfect time here at PWT. Until Daddy cuts off Tony's cash, he's not going to give a fuck about us. All I gotta say is that they don't really care about us. That song slaps, right? So we have some stuff to get into. Sicko or wacko or just delusional. I mean, they're all the same thing, right? That's why we coined the term wacko before anybody else can, right? Here at PWT. Phil is first, right? Underrated MJ song for sure, yeah. Okay, so, and yeah, 626, man, hit me up and I'll get you like graphics and fonts and shit. I know you're trying to. Anyways, there's 200 people watching. Consider coming on over, baby, to YouTube. And let's hang out there. And so let's get into some fucking news, man. Where do you guys want to start? We got miscellaneous. We're not like overloaded with stuff, but I do have a video that I want to EFAP a little bit. Oh yeah, and I didn't plug this, guys, this morning. This is why, because I didn't think I'd be dropping it till tomorrow, but I just fucking hustled up and dropped it this morning. I did a preview show for WWE Night of Champions. I was joined by Chris Connors, Alt Jake, and George Capture, Vintage George Capture, and we talked about WWE Night of Champions, a little bit of the Middle East stuff, like, just talking about how people blew it out of proportion, and then literally now no one's talking about that shit. And then we just like gave some early picks. You guys know I don't lock my picks on until the live stream, though. Like, that's when I lock my fucking picks on the night of the show. So I gave my early predictions, and yeah, so it was a fun show. Make sure you guys check that out. PWT Pod episode, I think 96. Okay, so I'm hustling up to get to 100 on those. Okay, but we do have some news, some miscellaneous stuff to get into, which I want to get into with you all, of course. I love getting into it with you guys. And I will play a banjo. Yeah, so we do have a healthy amount of miscellaneous news here, which is always interesting. And so, okay. One of our main stories, yeah, Ric Flair's apparently been pooping himself as well. So we gotta get into that, right? Okay, so let's head on over here to miscellaneous news and let's hit a banjo for miscellaneous news. So MLW dropped this. So tomorrow night, June 26th, they have Matt Riddle versus Kenta for the MLW World Title, which is awesome. Ultimo Guerrero is defending his national open weight title against Alex Hammerstone. Now, it's crazy how Hammerstone had to like fight to get out of MLW. And also bear in mind the CMLL partnership with MLW. Okay, that's why Ultimo Guerrero and shit's on here. Everyone, they all want Mystico. Mystico's like blowing up right now, for real, you know. But Alex Hammerstone, he had to like escape, and then he was on NXT, and then Shawn Michaels didn't pick him up, and then he botched that move against Karrion Kross on that Chris Bay show that they let Kross do. And I think that's why Kross, they waited a little, like, there's still got to be discipline, guys. And I think that's why Hammerstone didn't get picked up. And he let his contract expire with TNA. And I don't think he wanted to be locked down there. I think he thought the prospect of WWE was like right there on the horizon. And they brought him in on that fucking NXT show. So why wouldn't it have been? But he botched that fucking move on Kross, and I just think that right there is I know it's not old Vince WWE, but you have to, like, why isn't Britt Baker, or I guess her deal isn't up, sorry, so that's not a good example, but yeah, it's just think of a name who's like someone skilled, I guess. I don't even know who's like left AEW recently, who's skilled, who's left there. I guess WWE scoops them all up. But yeah, just someone botchy, I guess. Like if Sammy Guevara got released from AEW tomorrow, I don't think WWE would be like, we need that kid to keep him away from AEW. I don't think they'd be like, bro, he's a botch machine, he fucking hurts himself all the time. Just being honest, So anyways, though, and I fucking love Hammerstone. He's not a botch machine, but that was bad, and like maybe that held Kross off too. They're like, whoa, dude. We let you do that show and you almost fucked yourself up. Like, we got to chill a bit. Maybe. Who knows, right? I'm just throwing theories out there because it's like, why Austin theory? Da-na-na. No, but why why are they waiting so long for the Kross stuff? I also believe a lot of, as I've said before, I think I said this on the Monday show, you got to remember like Orton, the Usos, Roman Reigns, The Rock even, I guess. He's more than likely done. John Cena, a bunch of these wrestlers, it's their farewell tours over the next 2-3 years here. Goldberg's farewell tour, they just don't promote it that way. Orton's got a year or two left in the tank, probably 2 Manias, I'll give him. So, and the Usos and shit like that have made ungodly money and stuff. So, just expect like once a couple of those people go away, Sami Zayn will capture a world title. Karrion Kross will start to finally get his push and maybe get shots at the world title and the WWE title, etc. But yeah, hopefully Hammerstone he's landed on his feet here in MLW is the point I'm getting at. And hopefully he can like making his way downtown, walking fat, to way too many song references this early in the show. Hopefully he can make his way to WWE main roster. Like I would just put him with Heyman in that faction or whatever, you just need destroyers. Maybe even a faction like Hammerstone, Page, and fucking Ricky Saints or so. I know Saints and Page are like bitter rivals, but I could totally see them teaming up. It's like an Evolution thing. Like if that shit was an OVW, they'd be bitter rivals, but then they'd be put in a faction as soon as they got to the main roster or whatever. So anyways, though, enough of Hammerstone. Not enough of him. I love Hammerstone, but enough of that topic. Yuki Kamifuku versus Wakana Uehara for the Battle of Japanese Idols. What is that? Like a fucking cocktail? Oh, go. Los Depredadores in a World Tag Team title fight against randoms. Vacant. He gets the most work in the business. So Kushida versus Diego Hill. Shotzi arrives in MLW, and Anthony Green versus Brock Anderson, okay, who's developing there, doing his damn thing. since leaving AEW, and that's way better for him to be an MLW, ROW, maybe make his way to the PC. And yeah, shout out this event that goes down tomorrow. I'm not getting paid to promote that shit. I'm just doing it because for the love of the game, folks. So Hiroshi Tanahashi, we went over his 10-point plan to make New Japan great again. And it does involve AEW. It does. He's really happy with their relationship and whatnot. So Tanahashi says he agreed with New Japan that he'd stop wrestling after 2 years when becoming the promotion's president. And he's about to have his like retirement match where he's done. And the company told me that if I became president, I would have 1 year left as a wrestler. However, I thought it would be difficult to convey my gratitude to all the fans of Japan in just 1 year. So I asked them to let me play for 2 years. The company told me they wanted me to be a proper professional president, looking after sales figures and personnel matters, and also negotiating with sponsors. Now I even chair meetings with my hair growing out like this. Tanahashi is currently on his retirement tour. His last match is at Wrestle Kingdom 20 in January. So again, another final fucking last time is now tour going down. Tanahashi-san, he is one of the greats. Here's a throwback clip of the WWF in 1995. It was very similar in spirit to Tuesday Night Titans, called Donnybrook Theater, and it never aired. Do you guys remember Donnybrook Theater? I guess you didn't because it didn't air, but do you guys remember the rumors and innuendo about it? Chat me up, Eric. Someone in chat said we never got Tanahashi versus Cena. Bro, I know. Or like Orton and Tanahashi. That would fucking cook, man. And we never got that shit, not even one time. Such a and like Okada. We'll never get that one Mania match that he fucking so desperately deserves for the body of work he put in before AEW.
World premiere broadcast of Donnybrook Theater. Now you may be asking yourself, what is Donnybrook Theater? Well, it's where superstars of the World Wrestling Federation show their thespian skills. They'll be acting, and this week it's a journey to the Wild West. I want you to see this. Will you look at this? We have an authentic bar. We have an announcer from the West, a bartender. Look at the saloon girls. The audience is all part of it as we take a trip to the Wild, Wild West. Superstars of the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, man. They were throwing all types of shit at the wall there and hoping it sticks. So speaking of sticking, in France, they had some amazing pro wrestling back in the day, but sometimes they also did weird shit. We covered them like using trampolines to get in and out of the ring and do their attacks or whatever. Let's check this out. Here's some more.
Bol est revenu au centre du ring et qui en est sorti. La journée a été terriblement chaude. Les messieurs n'ont peut-être pas tout à fait leur vigueur. Et voilà le 5e concurrent.
And then a bull comes out and the wrestlers just take off. They're not risking it. They're not even going to sell for that shit.
Et voilà le 5e concurrent.
See, they wouldn't even wait 1 second. Why would you risk that? Let a bull out there? That's crazy. So speaking of crazy and getting ran over, Matt Cardona ran over Shotzi Blackheart's arm with her tank that I'm assuming WWE gave back to her, and broke her arm ahead of their match, and he calls her bitch and steals Okada's gimmick. Speaking of him as well.
Hey, Shotzi.
Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. That's right, Shotzi. Yeah, hit her again. Hit her. Server.
You've been served.
Yeah, you
So that's like smart Mark Sterling.
Hey, bitch. Hey, hold her arm. Hold her arm. Yeah. That's right. I'm going to run you over, you bitch. Yeah! Yeah!
Crazy. That's two dudes, man. Due to a loss in the family, Don Fale, speaking in New Japan, who is also known as Bad Luck Fale, will be absent for the remainder of the New Japan Soul Series. Satoshi Kojima will take his place in the G4. Playing bout. Prayers up for Bad Luck Fale, Don Fale, and his family right now. He definitely needs it. Here is Elena Black saying that she is working with Downstate for a new entrance music, which is what you do when you leave the WWE for the Indies. And she's currently using Can You Feel My Heart by Bring Me the Horizon, and shout out Giga Chad Van Vliet.
I was using Can You Feel My Heart for a while, but I am actually working on custom music right now with Downstate. So stay tuned for that.
The theme song for this show is Downstate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay,
so
cool.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you. I saw they made indies and I was like, that's sick.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They've made so many good ones.
Yeah, we haven't solidified anything yet, but
will it be done for your first match?
I don't think the first match, but that's fine because I want to use my Can You Feel My Heart, because I feel like that's what I ended with, so I want to start with that.
I love the excitement that you have.
I was using Can You Feel My Heart for a while, but I am.
Can you feel the love tonight? So Hulk Hogan confirms a new $7 million venture opposite Iconic Arena. And basically this headline is saying that across from, I think, MSG, or in New York, he is opening a bar like across the way. And I just don't know if opening a bar in New York is he has a successful one in Florida, but yeah, I don't know if that's the move right now. But yeah, shout out Hulk Hogan. He's invested $7 million as well. So that's what people are like. He's doing he's just invested $7 million in something he believes in. So maybe the people who open it are, I don't know. I mean, he has an opportunity. He's jumping at it. Maybe it is a good idea right across from the arena or whatever. Here's Becca, our girl Becca at B3CCA Forever with a 4. Says, I wasn't throwing shade at Deonna Purrazzo. I think she's awesome. I'm just saying, well, let's let her tell us.
Deonna fans, you can shut up. I know what a virtuosa is. It's awesome that she's great at one thing. I'm good at a bunch of things, including wrestling, singing, dancing, doing a backbend, doing the splits, doing a flip, poetry. So you can understand my confusion when a show is advertised as being fun and exciting and cool, and Deonna is announced first, who can only offer one thing when I can offer all of the things. That's what I'm confused about.
And she can rap and sing. Facts.
Deonna.
Facts. So, Ric Flair has made headlines quite a bit recently. The other day I was like, oh, I hope he's all good with his skin cancer. And he was, a little viral. He went a little viral yesterday or maybe a few days ago with a professional athlete and these very attractive ladies, and they were surrounding them at a bar and they were fucking doing the Ric Flair walk and everyone's having a good time. And I was like, well, that's cool. Hopefully there's more of that than him yelling at like pizza boys or whatever. So, this Reddit post r/Tampa. Now, Reddit for the most part is r/tarded, in my opinion. And I don't know if you guys have seen in the news recently, there was like this YouTuber who she like saved foxes. And these Redditors like harassed her, and then she deleted herself, which is just tragic. And she had a husband and a kid and all this stuff, like a young kid. And it's just tragic. This woman literally had a YouTube where she saved animals, and people were like, oh, and it's on Reddit. Reddit's like, if you go on there, it is so bad. It is like one of the worst fucking social medias ever, but if it even, I don't even know if you can consider it social media, because it's just like, it's worse than any. People say Twitter's bad. I think it's worse on Reddit, or maybe they're like equal, just in different ways for what they offer. Either way, this isn't about Reddit. But yeah, r/Tampa, someone posts Ric Flair, says they post this. Honcho Poncho 824 says, does Ric Flair keep coming to your restaurant and shitting himself? I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. He is an elderly man, but Jesus. So the man has shit himself like 6 times this year, drunk as fuck at bars and other restaurants. He gets thrown out of Water Street places all the time. Anybody in the service industry having to deal with this shit too. Now, I would love to see what the responses are. Okay, 147 upvotes, 64 comments. Now, not all, again, like any place, like anything, not all Reddit is bad. Like Reddit is good if you're like, how do you, like when if you're looking for tips and tricks, or like if you want now anyone could come and just make up stories. Yeah, I'm a bartender and he whatever. Right? And that's up to you to sort of discern, but it's good for people swapping stories in that. Now, I don't want to like embarrass Ric Flair. He's an elderly man and shit. If that's what he's doing though, Rick, it's time to pack it in. Like at what point is the party over with? At what the party don't stop, right? Like at what point is it fucking, can we chill? And I was putting him over. I was like, who doesn't want to be living the life like Ric Flair? You know, on Monday I was saying that, and then this stuff comes out, and chat was like, when you're in your 80s, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't, but like, if that's what he wants to do when he's 80, who wouldn't want to be like living my best life? But like, if you're shitting yourself and stuff, dude, you know, we try to give you the benefit of the doubt, but like, this gives Ric Flair drip a whole new meaning, dog. So Metro Boomin in my draws, son. Going boo-boo and fucking doo-doo in my undies. So Ric Flair responds, man, to this. And let's read his response, man. This shit is crazy. He goes, now, okay. Oh, is this a fucking parody account? Oh my God. This got caught. This is a fucking parody account. Oh my God. Okay. So we've been had. Anyways, well, we have another one where it's clearly a parody, and that I was going to read later. So this fits into the theme of the show regardless. But yeah, this guy writes, I've seen what people have said, and here's my official statement. It's not Dookie running down my pants at the bars in Tampa. It's cum. But that's not what Flair said, so then it's not as funny. But yeah, either way, if these stories are true, now I didn't go sleuthing through the fucking subreddit, but yeah, we'll see if more comes of this, I guess. Now, to give some examples, as we've covered here on the show, Ric Flair stormed out of Kill Tony. He was all drunk. He's gone on various podcasts and just got like obliterated fucking drunk and made a fool of himself in recent times. And then, of course, the incidences at the pizza place. You know, he's clearly just smashed.
To obliterate.
And I just hope he or if that, I don't know, man, because it's the same thing when we saw Jim Ross smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, well, you got to respect that, where he's like, fuck it, you know, like anyone could. Jim Ross don't smoke. What he's been through and the shit, like he just doesn't give a fuck, you know. He's gonna do what he wants, and he earned that. As long as there's no like essay or any type of like weird fucking him messaging minors or something. I mean, there's no reason to like hate an old man who shit himself, who drank too much at the bar. There's a dude who does that at the bar by my place all the time. Downtown, rather, all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's a cool dude when he's, you know, when he's not shitting himself. He's all right. He's not half bad. So yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news. Where's my banjo, damn it? Yes, so that is funny. What else do we have on the docket tonight? We have some TNA news, I believe. Yes, we have a few little things here from TNA. Usually I play the banjo for TNA, but I might just banjo it up. Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie. You know what I mean? We're going to go Banjo Hawk Tooie today. We're losing it. It's a wacky Wednesday, folks. We got time. I'm just lining up how we're gonna do this here. Okay, that should work perfectly. Okay, so let me check my chat for a second. Scatman can do it. You can poo. Scooby-Doo, wah, wah. Only 40 likes and you will hear Jericho, you fucking sickos. Phil talking about himself. Every bar has one. Yeah, it's me. It's me, damn it. It was me, Austin. Don't give 2 S's and an F. See that? I'm censoring myself. Smashed his pants to oblivion. I just wanted to believe so badly, like in Joe Hendry. Phil got worked. I got worked by that Ric Flair parody one. I definitely just bookmarked it on the Swift. You know, that's what I do. That's what I do. I don't like to watch ahead. I like to watch with you guys, right? And so I pulled a Meltzer there, but it was funny. But we have an obviously fake one. See, I caught a fake one today though that I was bringing to the show as a fake one that Awful posted earlier. But that has nothing to do with Ric Flair. It's in AEW news, so that'll be fun. So I'm actually pretty good. But I did get work, so you gotta be able to admit that. Flair went from Space Mountain to Dookie Falls. Okay, let's get back. I want to get drunk now. Yeah, save it for the weekend, bro. Save it for the weekend. Well, unless you don't got shit to do tomorrow. Then you're a grown man, I'm assuming. Do what you want. And if you're not, get the fuck out of this chat. Just joking. Flair got his brown belt. Oh, he got his brown belt. Oh, go. Okay, let's hit another banjo because I just enjoy him. So exclusive, the Tommy Dreamer, Jazz, and Carlos Silva surprised Jada Stone and it's Mila Moore with TNA contracts after their match at TNA in Pittsburgh. So they got awarded these contracts. Now, TNA really loves flagging my shit. So.
Lose, you win. On behalf of you, a contract.
So they offer her a contract.
Come over here. Again, on behalf of TNA's management, Jazz, myself, and this is Carlos, your new boss.
Welcome both to the team. We're very proud. Thanks so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope they keep scouting talent. They have that Harley Hudson girl, I believe her name is on deck as well, and she just has such a unique look to her. And Dark State invaded TNA. So again, we're like, this is 5 days ago. So look at all these empty seats too on this side. Damn it. TNA's being really ambitious. Like their goal is to do 4K at that Slammiversary show. And they're like ambitious. They're going to do that. Like, I guess like the idea behind that fucking, like, I don't know. I saw a lady tweet this out. Like, I've been looking at people who like help promote, market them and shit. And basically, I guess like 4K is just their goal. They're just trying to cross that 4K, which would be huge for them. But it's possible they're pulling a Tony Khan. Like, hey, this is going to be a big show for us. And if we get to 8K tickets, like imagine if TNA just blew up overnight again, which that didn't happen, but they surpassed like 2 or 2,200 tickets or something. Maybe it's even more than that at this point, and I'm talking out of my ass. But yeah, someone check the tickets on Slammiversary, and I fucking am willing to bet there's going to be some people showing up that night just to pop the crowd and celebrate TNA and shit. And you want to be at that fucking show, man. So go. And hopefully they cross 4K. Again, though, a little ambitious with that building. And hopefully it doesn't make the show feel underwhelming, man. You know, like hopefully when Slammiversary hits, it doesn't feel like a Dynamite where it's just a bunch of people in an empty fucking building. And like, it seems, you know? I don't want that vibe. It's cooler when it's like packed to the rafters. Like it doesn't matter if it's 400 people or 4,000. When it's packed, it's like, whoa, you know. And that's think about every show you've been to as a fan as well. You remember the really big ones when they're fucking packed, right? You don't remember going to like a really big building that's empty. Like no one gives a shit unless it's the Roman Coliseum or something. That's some tourist shit. you know, you like when you go to an event, it's about like some of the best events any of you in chat have probably experienced or been a part of, or where there's just people piled on top of each other, fucking, you know, like that's what we want. So hopefully TNA didn't fuck up, you know, and I'm watching you, TNA, too. Don't just think shit's sweet now over here at PWT Universe because you're doing good work with WWE. Watching you, mother Carlos Silva, motherfucker. No. I think TNA's a better fucking suit for Dark State, and they powerbombed Cardona. Good for him. Speaking of Silva, they unveiled a new award given to stars with the honor of whatever. So we covered this before. This isn't the first one they gave out, but this is their Pittsburgh taping. So here's the new award they gave out. Let's see. It was given to the first ever one was given to Casey Navarro at their last tapings or whatever. We covered it on the show. Let's see who's the next recipient.
Last time we wanted to talk about our TNA All-Star for this loop. But before we do that, we wanted to get a little something for everyone that is a TNA All-Star. And so I'd like to ask Casey, who is our first TNA All-Star, to come up and get our little...
So Casey Navarro hands out the award because he won it before. So I'm just fat. TNA's ruthless on me when I play their shit. But I don't think this was televised. Look, they have good catering, it looks like, as well.
There are actually a lot of All-Stars, and we could probably give out 10 of these today. But we're gonna sort of stick to our guns, and we're gonna try and find someone that maybe just rose just a hair above everyone else. And last night we had a couple of things happen, and this person stepped in and sort of, when Hunter and Tommy needed someone, stepped up and got back in the ring a second time. And so, Zach.
Lance Storm is there too. There's Wentz getting a good award there. Shout out to fucking Rascals. Let's go. And then this, I believe she gets one too, this lady here.
So I like to do a special All-Star today as an extra one for someone that always takes care of all of you, and that's Ingrid.
Let's go, Ingrid. Let's go, Ingrid. Ingrid. Yeah, Ingrid, you fucking rule. So, I mean, look at that locker room. And a lot of these dudes, a lot of them, they just show up like for the TV taping, but it's like a family. And it's so good that Scott D'Amore did help build that shit and get it back on track. And a lot of people were, you know, shook up when he left. But a lot of people were also saying, like, you know, I didn't really deal with him too much. You know, he came up with my shit, but I dealt with this and that. And so the transition was smooth. And it's just good to see they have a locker room that's just so much on the same page. Like, you don't see shit like this from AEW. That's all I'm saying. Right? It's like, don't tell me how big your dick is. Show me. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck is happening in AEW all the time. It's just, it's the best ever. It's the great. Not to make it about that, but it's like, where's this shit? This is this type of stuff I thought we'd have gotten, you know? Because at the time, everyone was uneasy in WWE and the locker room was chaotic and people are getting kicked off buses and who's there because of the, you know, because COVID, who's there, who refuses to get the knee, who's released, who's, you know, it was all this chaos where this guy's political stuff backstage is rubbing people the wrong way. These guy was released then brought back. Bray Wyatt is fucking, you know, it was so much turmoil. AEW comes in, you thought it was going to be like everybody singing Kumbaya and shit. Everyone giving out stars to each other, and instead it's just Meltzer stars, not fucking stars of appreciation that mean something, you know, that the whole company gets behind. And we understand the criteria of how Ingrid earned her star here, right? It's just Meltzer throwing fucking, I'll write this star down and this star down for you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. And again, not to make it about All Elite, but isn't this what we pictured? At least if you were a fan, like in the beginning, I was like, man, the Elite, they got a strong bond, the Bullet Club shit, they work with everyone. They brought Cody in from the Indies. They're not above da-da-da-da-da. Like that was the mentality. And then we got the complete opposite. And now look at TNA, a place where everybody, not that long ago, everyone just goes there. I get a check. It's fucking Vince Russo, like people stooging each other. Corgan's funding shows, and then they're lying to him about him owning parts of the company. They're on fucking the Pop Channel or Destination America. There's people coming in, getting checks going. Fucking people don't know if they're signed there or not. They're offering AJ less money. The locker rooms, what the fuck? Think about that. That was not that long ago. Now they've just rose like a phoenix, man, from the ashes. And look at this backstage, this locker room, and just the way they all come together like this. It's so fucking cool to see. Shout out Ingrid too. Shout out TNA. So here's the thing. Elijah, who's been, again, WWE, well, maybe that was Elias's call. Maybe I don't know, and I'm just talking shit, and they gave him a choice. But you would think they'd just be like, bro, you can just be called Elias, like whatever, we just give us 10% of your shit. Or maybe he's like, no, I just want to be Elijah. But there was already an indie wrestler called Elijah. So he's sticking with Elijah, and he's in TNA, but they use him a lot in NXT. And he was doing this with a torn tricep. He's injured. And he was doing this on NXT with a fucking torn tricep.
And now Elijah looking to fly to the elbow, right to the heart.
And same with Top Dollar. Like everyone who shits on AJ Francis, like you guys gotta understand, man. WWE and NXT, they're willing to work with him immediately when they had the chance again. Because even when he was released from WWE, he was still working with them. When he was released as a talent, he was still doing shit with them. So he's always been cool. And like, yeah, people, I don't know, Flop Dollar, whatever. I think he does amazing shit with Casey Navarro. They belong on NXT. Casey Navarro belongs on NXT. The whole First Class and them linking up with Trick, and then the shit he does on TNA, it's so good. He has been no misses in TNA. The only thing you could maybe shit on and laugh at was the shit he did with PCO. And honestly, like, he just did good business, and he still made the best of it because PCO and D'Amore and them were on their way out of TNA, and they saw the writing on the wall. So that's why he did that shit with PCO. And you could maybe shit on that, but not even really, And then when Rich Swann as well, think about this, to put AJ Francis over some more. Think about this. Rich Swann, him and Rich Homie Swann were doing their thing. Swann got whatever happened, right, in his personal life. Hopefully he's doing all good. And then I thought, I was like, damn, that just fucked AJ Francis right there. No. After Swerve almost fucked them, you got to understand, Swerve like almost fucked Hit Row. Notice Ashanti, AJ Francis, and B-Fab all have jobs in WWE. Right? Look at what Swerve says. We're the Lakers, or yeah, AEW. He's just kissing Tony's not all the fucking. I hate to be that guy, but I mean, I'm not the one who pointed it out. Other people pointed it out, pointed me in that direction. So if they're wrong, okay, talk to them. But all I'm saying is this. There's a reason for that, man. And yeah, AJ made it work by bringing Casey Navarro in and like salvaged and made First Class even better. Made it even better. So I don't know. Shout him out, and shout out Elijah, who's got a torn tricep doing fucking Ezekiel. That looked like an Ezekiel elbow drop. I'm not sure about that. He looked very Ezekiel-ish in this.
Too far to the elbow, right to the heart of AJ Francis.
So, yeah, we got an update from TNA themselves. They said, or no, maybe I didn't bookmark it because I just kept that in the bookmark. So, yeah, TNA's like, Elijah can't do these next. He has a torn tricep. So he was wrestling on NXT with a torn triceps. Confirmed. Breaking, this week's Impact will also simulcast Thursday, tomorrow, for free on YouTube around the world, excluding Canada. God damn it. No, they're a Canadian company. It's all fucking good, okay? This is for you guys out there. I get everything, all WWE on Netflix. I get all the good shit, okay? I get all the good shit, pal. You guys now get the good shit and can easily just go on YouTube. I get Saturday Night Main Event on YouTube, pal. So now you guys get to go on YouTube and enjoy TNA tomorrow. Go and watch it. It's a must-watch episode. They taped it. They say there's a match of the year contender. You have Santana versus AJ Francis in a street fight. You want to talk about over. Santana is fucking super over with the TNA crowd in general. And he's been making appearances in NXT again. I hope he works his way to WWE. Meanwhile, we have an update on Angel Ortiz in TNA news, and it's not looking so good for him. So stick around for that. Knockouts Battle Royale for a future TNA Knockout World Championship. Who doesn't like a good old Battle Royal? The Hardys versus the Northern Armory with Eric Young. Now, these Northern Armory guys can work. There's something about them being kind of like crazy and weird. Just put boots on or whatever. Like, don't do the Mike Bailey fucking no shoes kick pads. Like, Northern Armory, I want to see. Don't rip off Shield or whatever, but go more like wear camo tights or maybe do like a just wear boots though, fellas, okay? Don't go all barefoot and shit. This guy acts crazy with his like crazy Moxley, I'm a fake crazy guy faces, right? Like there's certain guys like Mark Briscoe, Bruiser Brody, they make a crazy face and you're like, that's a crazy motherfucker. And then there's some guys where you're like, I don't know about all that, man. That hair, those eyebrows, and that beard's too too kempt and tidy and kept up with for me to believe you crazy like that. So a call to arms match, Mustafa Ali versus John Skyler, and they're working to get this John Skyler gentleman over here. And Mustafa Ali is just doing work in TNA, and Cedric Alexander, of course, debuts. Spoiler, it's all over fucking Twitter. You guys know. And so, yeah, make sure you guys watch that. And speaking of TNA, the Hardy Boys crossed the multiverse and stepped into Subway Mania in NYC. So you guys know Subway Mania, the guys who do the fucking wrestling shows on the subway. The Hardy Boys pulled up on it because, of course, why wouldn't you? And the Hardy Boys are just fucking goated. They are amazing, and nobody loves their fans more than the Hardys. If you've ever come across them, you definitely know that firsthand, and it's just really cool that they just do shit like this, man. And I love Jeff. He's one of the all-times. Love Matt, too. They're both two of the all-times. I know people are tired of seeing them. I think they have reinvigorated themselves in TNA, and we saw them on NXT once. Who'd have ever thunk it? I would love to see a day where we get not even at Mania, but maybe at a Stand and Deliver once we get or like a Worlds Collide or the Invasion or the crossover. I just want to see the Hardys get a send-off and then Hall of Fame and all that stuff sooner than later, you know? Sign that Legends deal, come back in the video games, let them give us like retro Hardys. You know, I want 4 Jeff Hardy attires in my 2K26 game. You know what I'm saying? I need fucking 3 Persona cards. You know, I need Will-O-the-Wisp. Okay. I was fucking playing as Abyss earlier, dude. Real quick. It was sick. Fucking amazing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA News. As Dynamite starts, I need to get Dynamite on, actually. And I will share this tab here. And I will get Dynamite pulled up. And I will check in with chat. So how's it going? Are we cooking thus far? That was the intro to the show, ladies and gentlemen. That was just the beginning. That was the intro. Let's see what chat's saying as I get this. Dun, dun. And it's on TBS. Yeah, I ask that all the time. That was cool from the Hardys. Drug testing champions. What the fuck does that even mean, dude? Don't. Oh, come on. That's not very fair. George Capture says 49 likes. Guys, there is 268 people watching. It's fluctuating across X and YouTube. If you're on X, consider coming over to YouTube. The link's right there. If not, that's fine. Just retweet it or hit like, hit the heart or whatever. Appreciate you. If you're on YouTube, run the likes up. youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips, or else Chris Jericho is going to do a run-in. He announced a new tour, and we actually have an update from the man himself if you guys want it. Right from the horse's mouth. Okay, TBS. Boom. And TBS, the Big Bang Station is what it should be called. Oh, the Bucks. Oh, I have a tag match tonight. It's in the second hour. Why would you turn this on, look at this guy saying that, and go, yeah, I want to watch him fight? Fucking crazy. Nuts. So their match is now, I suppose. Yeah, Osprey's coming out. Do we even have a graphic for it? I don't even think we have a graphic for it. Doesn't really matter too much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get an Ichi ni Sanda. All together now. This is going to be huge. This is great. This is ginormous AEW news. It's huge. All together now. Ichi ni Sanda, the great Antonio Inoki.
Ichi ni
For AEW news, I might have said TNA before. So we just talked about Mike Santana, who's super over, got into a physical confrontation with Angel Ortiz in AEW about, I want to do more. And this is according to Conan. He fucking confirmed it, and Santana's like, I want to do more. And Ortiz is like, well, man, let's just do our thing. And we don't have to. Conan! We don't have to worry about, like, whatever. We're getting paid. Da-da-da-da-da. So they got in, like, a physical altercation about it, Santana was like, we deserve more. And Ortiz is like, I don't want to rock the boat. Santana gets his contract comes up, or he asks for his release quietly, and he gets it, whatever happened. He goes to TNA, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm going to actually do something here. He does. He takes the ball. He runs with it. Every market they go to, Santana's super over just with the TNA audience in general. And he's over with the IWC. They're using him in NXT. He was super over with that crowd. He's just a great worker. I've been saying it for a fucking long time. Watch this dude. He put on the weight. He's taking it seriously. He's bulked up. Santana's fucking him, man. This TNA run, if you're paying attention, it's special. And he is and now he's running his own shows in Puerto Rico and shit, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he's getting big names over there. And so Angel Ortiz, the last update we got from him, he's just, again, been persona non grata. Tony Khan doesn't have anything for him if he's not in LAX. Right? An old fucking TNA tag team or whatever. And he doesn't have anything for him, I guess. And Angel Ortiz got in, like, really good fucking shape not that long ago as well. Like, he just got really shredded and, like, lean, And he looks great, and who knows if he's doing that, because now he's realizing, and I always say people wake up at different times. So Santana saw the writing on the wall and is like, we urgently need to do something about this or it won't change. And maybe Angel was like, well, it's cool for now. But maybe Angel's starting to realize now, fuck, this dude didn't have shit for me. And so Michael Norton says, can we get Ortiz powerful back on AEW TV, please? And Ortiz says, that would be cool. ... Yeah, that would be fucking cool. And Santana tried to fight for that, and then you fought him, and now look at what he's doing. And one of the biggest fumbles ever in AEW history. This is what people don't talk about, too. This is why so much of the audience jumped off early. because they fumbled shit early on. LAX, okay, they're just like a fifth wheel in this fucking faction. They're never gonna get the tag straps. What the fuck? Lucha Bros, they did decent stuff with, but they didn't push them in the way, because everyone wanted a Penta singles run eventually too, you know? And there was just a lot of opportunities that they left on the table early as well that a lot of people don't talk about because it just happened quickly and people wrote it off immediately. It's weird too. Like, we got Swerve and Ospreay taking on who was that? Lee Johnson and Blake Christensen or Blake Christian. It's like miniatures of their opponents. You know what I mean? They're fighting like miniature versions of themselves. The Bucks booked their tag match right at the top of the hour. And then now these guys are going to go 50-50 with Ospreay and them. Well, because we weren't ready yet, bruv. I was tying me laces. What the fuck? No, just squash these guys and fucking Jesus. And then are we going to get the odd couple Swerve Ospreay win the tag belts instead of Ospreay like winning the fucking world title like they signed him for $8 billion to do? When we already got Hangman and Omega did this fucking story and you guys are just fucking rehashing the same shit. I don't know, dude. I just think like this should be a quick, they just beat these fools down, hit their finishes, get on the mic and go, we're not fucking playing. And then Ospreay and Swerve just cut promos like, we ain't playing, da-da-da-da-da. And then get out of there. Why would you like go to the limit with Blake Christensen or whatever the fuck? I don't know. And I'm feeling for Angel Ortiz. Collision is getting kicked off of Saturday for the NASCAR Cup. So again, NASCAR Cup Series is on the 28th. And NASCAR Nation is afterwards. They'd rather have a post-race discussion. And Collision is on Thursday again tomorrow night. So Saturday night's all right to fight. Remember that? So yeah, Saturday, guys, make sure you're tuned into PWT during the daytime for the Night of Champions watch along, watch party live stream show. And it will be spectacular. Okay, it'll be very fun, and I'm gonna get lit. We're gonna have some day sips, I think, if everything permits. And yeah, we might have a drunken Irishman running on this show. We might have some soup boys might pull up, or I might pull up over there. We might do a little double stream. I don't know. We'll double dip in some soup or something. We'll figure it all out. But it's gonna be an extravagant day, afternoon, if you will, no less. And yeah, Collision, I guess you're going to Thursday, guys. Collision's going to Thursdays, and either we'll stay 2 hours or get shortened to an hour, or they're going to add a third hour to Dynamite and Collision's going to get canceled, or they add a third hour to Dynamite and just call it Collision. And or maybe or they might start taping Collisions and then airing them on Thursdays or something. That's what's going to start happening, especially with UFC. The way it's looking for UFC right now is Netflix wants, and I know I've said this before, but it's looking more and more like Phil was right about this shit, okay? Netflix and Phil, I don't miss. But I just think Netflix is going to want like 4 to 6 big fights per year, like fight nights, they'll call it, whatever, like a UFC No Chase, a big one, and maybe, and that's sometimes in America, but it's like celebrating the Mexican heritage and all of that, the Latino heritage and all that. But just like, Tapuria in Spain, or like when Paddy Pimblett fights in the UK, that like Netflix wants those fights, 4 to 6 of them maybe, and if it's more, then good on them. So that's a big bag. WBD is going to try and get in on that. ESPN Plus might just, they might say, hey, we don't want these shitty Apex cards, and shut out Fight Oracle on X, because I saw him throwing this out there, and again, he's very savvy in this area, and he brought up a good, well, I mean, I brought this up on the show too, but just to back up what I've been saying, ESPN might go, hey, we don't want, or we'll take, we don't want Apex cards, but we'll take fucking Dana White's Contender Series and the Ultimate Fighter, and not the Ultimate Fighter, like no one watches that show, but I'm just throwing that out there. So there's another show called the Contender Series. It's really popular, and they might say, hey, just give us those live instead of like Apex Fight Nights or whatever. And then WBD might go, well, we want the Apex Fight Nights. We're desperate. You guys know what I'm saying? So the money TKO's about to bring in from this UFC deal, it's going to be insane. So Collision will be off Saturdays sooner or later. And again, I'm not celebrating that. If you guys go back in PWT, go back to look up the date, like when did Collision come out, like start, and then go back to me being so hype. And that was my show. And I was pointing out, look, dude, this is how Punk, and before the sheets confirmed it, I was like, dude, I swear Punk and them have to be fucking, like, someone has to be calling the shots a little differently there. Look at the way they're setting up the matches before they're cutting promos, and then it's going into the fucking the intro credits, and it's Elton John, and Saturday nights are all right to fight, and it's Joe, and it's Punk, and that was my show. Collision was my show. I was a collider. I was like, dude, this show's better than Dynamite. Let's go. Let's get Collision versus Dynamite and see. I was so amped. The possibilities were endless. And now it's just an afterthought, throwaway. I mean, they've been doing more story shit on it, but the problem is it's fucking dead. Now, they did pop a better rating, Collision did, based off their own merit and based off the fact, in my opinion, that they are starting to put some story shit from Dynamite. Like, you have to watch Collision now, or you're going to miss shit that's going on overall in the story. Now, I get it. The stories might not be good enough to keep you locked in and to watch all the stuff. I get it. But they're starting to have like Moxley show up. And again, a lot of these beats to the stories in AEW, it's just shit happening. It's not really, but if you want to make the fair argument, like everything that's going on, like Moxley's cutting promos and shit on Collision. If you want to know the lore in its entirety, yes, you either go on their YouTube and watch the Collision clip, or you got to consume Collision to some degree, right? So I believe that is doing good for them, but in the old folks, I'm gonna break it all down. Like, I've been right about all this shit because they popped a better number, and people might go, well, there's a lead in. Okay, but they popped like a bit of a bet, like in the 400,000s for Collision. That's a win for Collision these days. Honestly, it is. Okay, but here's the thing: the key demo skewed lower again. So Meltzer's going to go, the cable numbers higher, but all the young people are watching too. They're just all on Max. He's going to fucking use that excuse. Meanwhile, when the number's low, well, everyone's on Max. But then when the cable number's higher, but the key demo's shrinking, what it is that they're doing more sports entertainment-y stuff. And as I've said it before on this show, the AEW fans are like skewing older, and it's going to be those folks who just, you know what I mean? It's these people who a decade ago were really into the New Japan shit, and they were really into this concept 6 years ago now of fucking, and now they're like 40s, whatever, let's say late 30s even, maybe some of them in their 50s. And you're going to rope more people in by doing more story-based shit, it's just that simple. And the key demo, though, is going to shrink because the stories are bad and they're not hip. And that's why the key demo's shrinking like it did. And the reason I'm able to claim this is because that's what we pointed out about WWE in the past. That's what Meltzer and all old people watched WWE before AEW was a thing, and WWE kind of fell off. Older people were watching it, and the younger key demo was falling off more and more and more, and they were going towards UFC. So we can point to that same thing happening in AEW. Why? Because it's just not good storytelling and booking and shit. Period. Point blank. The creative's bad. However, you are doing more story-based shit, and let's be honest, the storytelling's bad in like a lot of these fucking what are these shows called? Soap operas and whatnot, and these shows that older folks will watch as well. Like WWE, it's just sort of something for older folks to put on. Like when all you're doing is watching shit all day, then that's what the fuck, you're just going to put some shit on. You don't want to think about anything. And it's just like every storyline in every soap opera has been done a million times, right? But there's still old ladies and, older people who watch these same like shitty investigative shows or whatever, like NCIS and all this shit's been on forever. Law and Order's been on for 10 light years, you know? There's a reason for that. And yeah, I hope I made that point, and we have the numbers to back up what your boy Philly's been saying for fucking ever, chat. But anyways, that's a long rant on Collision getting moved there. Longer than this match should have been. Buddy Matthews confirms, he says that his ankle's not recovering as well as he thought it would be. There's no mobility to it. If I can't have mobility, I can't move properly. Once it hits 3 months without healing, it becomes chronic. I thought I'd be back in the ring by April. So do you guys remember how he hurt his fucking ankle? That janky ass ring that they tried to say wasn't a janky fucking ring.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Well, AEW doesn't use 20 by 20. They use 18 by 18 rings. Okay, so then it was a 16 by 16 because it looks smaller than their normal ring. And if they use an 18 by 18 for all their dynamites, then and not a 20 by 20 like WWE, then that was a 16 by 16 and it was janky, like Awful pointed out. Okay. And this motherfucker rolled his ankle on that shit and has not recovered since. It's literally boils down to that. And I hope he has a speedy recovery, you know, which, well, it's not speedy. So I guess that hope is all lost, right? Unfortunately, I hope it's speedier than it's been, I suppose. Again, just pertaining to Tony Khan and you know, just the culture of like his soccer team and their fandom and the Jaguars team and their fandom and AEW and their fandom. ESPN article grades NFL teams on how they treat players' families. Guess who got an F? So how NFL teams are reacting to survey on family treatment. So after home games for the first 5 seasons of Jesse Bates III's career, the former Cincinnati Bengals safety had to leave the stadium to find his family. Now in Atlanta, Bates meets his family in a suite in the Mercedes-Benz Dome after home games. Do you guys hear this? So she's just highlighting, here's an example. For the first 5 seasons of Jesse Bates' career, when he was on the Bengals in Cincy, he had to leave the stadium and go find his family. Hey, where are you guys? I'm in the parking lot. Or, hey, meet me out back by the dumpsters, you know? He goes to Atlanta and shout out the Falcons. Okay, that's my team. I don't keep up with NFL. Like, I'll watch the Super Bowl, but I have not been deep in it since I was younger. But the Falcons were my shit, okay? So Bates meets his family in a suite after the games where there's food and shit like that at home games. So the opposite is true for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not another fucking... Oh, no.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Oh, no. According to veteran Jaguars player who asked for anonymity. Now, again, they asked for anonymity. Okay. I promise you, ESPN talk to folks. They're not... You can listen, man. You can take their word on this one because this is like a study done amongst a bunch of fucking teams. There's no way they're just gonna, big NFL paid them to make teams look bad and shit. They're not trying to do that, man. Especially with all the, like when Lawrence got drafted too, it seemed like there was a bunch of, that's his name, right? I'm not the long blonde haired kid. There was so much like artificial hype sort of around Jacksonville too. The NFL doesn't want shit like this, right? The CTE thing, they tried to bury that. They don't want this out there. All these teams are going to straighten up after this. So listen, according to a veteran Jaguars player who asked for anonymity, Jacksonville scored an F for treatment of families on the report card, which was the second lowest grade. In Detroit, you have to shoot your way out of the building. They hand your kid a gun. No, but like, how do you score lower than an F minus? Jesus. I know we're supposed to be the ones to tell our family certain things, but when there's 30 other things that us as players have to worry about, and then we all tell our family information at the last minute, things can get miscommunicated in the information. When we have to be the person to give them the tickets or be the person to do all these things, stuff happens. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that my family's okay so I don't have to worry about them. These security guards ain't letting my damn wife in. Yeah. Like, they don't give a fuck, man. I've got to worry about that, or got to call a team rep to handle this. It shouldn't happen. Family should be already taken care of. Oh, well, we're a family here in AEW. Well, I'm in Mexico for CMLL, and when I get back, I promise I'll draft a 7th round pick who got cut from the Lions, and we'll pick him up. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, they scored an F, I guess. One of the teams that scored an F for family. F is for fuck yo family. F is for fuck them. Right? Oh, shit, man.
Poor people don't like AEW.
So, EC3 has explained the biggest problem which stops AEW from becoming so successful, comparing the two companies. WWE, of course. So EC3 says, I think AEW has this issue where like they sign a young person and they throw them on TV. There's no trial and error. There's no room for improvement. It's always what's expected out of a TV match based on that style. And I don't know how they can bring about prospects to increase their value. WWE at least has the NXT system where they're kind of running loops a little bit. Exactly. You have to establish people. You have to get them on the road. You have to see how they react, before you just throw them on a cat. It's just craziness. It's madness. Everyone's pointing it out. They don't develop young talent. So it's just no longer a fucking myth that anybody can try and debunk. Let me check in with chat here. F1 WGP7 for 2 says Observer got hacked because Dave's PW is Osprey 69. Osprey 69 me. You forgot the exclamation mark.
Stupid idiot.
Osprey 69. How do you write? Brian, how do you spell Osprey? Oh my God. Rabid Wolverines LC Killer 17 for 2 says NASCAR is more over than AEW Collision. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is. The fucking post show. Why do they put AEW on after the NBA finals and all that shit? And that because people are going to switch that shit off. Not even the finals either, but like they know people are just going to switch that shit off. Or they're just going to leave their TVs on. It's like, whatever, just throw whatever after this. Like we popped the huge rating. It's going to bleed over. It's a success. They're not looking for like after this huge success, how can we keep it going till midnight? They don't care about that. So it's just a bonus for them, but it happens, whatever. They leave on. NASCAR is going to draw more shit or they wouldn't make Collision move, or it just makes no difference to them. It makes no difference to me. Thomas Moore for 2 says Collision is going to be AEW's main event. I mean, yeah, and they should just. I just think Collision and Rampage are a colossal, and then Dark and Dark Elevation being gone are just 4 colossal failures. Just get rid of Collision, start a YouTube show, leave Dynamite 2 hours. If you're going to get an hour-long show, do a show where you recap and highlight indie shit for an hour on TV and have Shivani hosting it like this week in All Elite Wrestling from around the world, Here's fucking Michael Oku prospect that we like, check out this guy, and then you plant seeds in CMLL, fucking Mystico, whatever the fuck. You start building it up that way. Thank you. George Catcher for 10 says, explain to me how AEW makes a deal with Max for their pay-per-views when Max have never done pay-per-views and don't seem in a hurry to start. What gives here? What gives over A? Explain to me how AEW makes a deal with Max for their pay-per-views when Max have never done pay-per-views and don't seem in a hurry to start. What gives here? All they have to do is put a fucking pay. All they have to do is put a pay me button and then boom. You can watch the show. Just watch the show behind this paywall, click this button and give us $70 and here's the show. So I don't know why they don't do it. I don't know what's going on. They're saying they're still working out the kinks. They're like, we're on Max. And then it's like, but go to Amazon and get our pay-per-views. And then Meltzer's like 30% increase because of Amazon. That's not true at all. He's just adding that number. Whenever you see people go, sources say 30% on the pay-per-view or the pay-per-views are having an overall increase. They're not. Dave just invented that and is his own source on that because he studies the business. He just says, I study the business and my estimates. When have Max ever done pay-per-views? I don't know. We don't get Max in Canada, bro. And yeah, they're not in a hurry to start because they don't care. AEW's not a fucking priority for them at all whatsoever. And thank you so much, the top mod of the top fucking pod, man. Lincoln Hawk for 5 says the Jags had their in-stadium direct TV shut for not paying the bill last season. Are you fucking serious, dude? That's great. Are you serious, Tony? Come on, Shed. Come on down. They had their fucking direct TV shut for not paying the bill. How did I miss that? Did we cover it on the show and I pooped it out of my brain chat? Holy shit. Okay, let's move along. We have some more AEW news. Speaking of not paying the bill, All in Texas at Globe Life Field update. 18.6K cross. They appear to have comped a few hundred tickets today. They comped way more. They've comped a few thousand minimum. Hopefully all the people turn up. Again, I'm not a dirt sheet. I'm not a dirt sheet. And you don't have to pay to get in my Discord to hear fake gossip. So I'll hit allegedly. But they are legit worried about. They think their setup will cover it now the way they have it, but there's going to be a lot of empty seats because when you comp this many people, not all of them are going to show up. So the turnstile count, no one ever checks that. It's going to matter. Well, you don't know how much everyone's families and shit are there too. Doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. This thing is, they're going to artificially hit 20K. You have some of these sickos saying 20's a given. 30 should be a shoe-in and shit. And again, they're just trying really hard. It doesn't matter when you comp this much tickets. Hey, PWT, I'm going to rent out a venue and buy 500 tickets and hand them out to all you, and you all come. Oh, we drew 500 for PWT. Like, that is the worst shit ever. When I was younger and I had done some promoting of this and that, I would tell people, like, don't be like, who wants free shit? Because everyone will cheer for that. You want to get people to embrace you for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, oh man, it's just not going to look good there. And if we have boots on the ground, if Pete in Texas is there, or if somebody's there that evening who can send pictures and be live boots on the ground, that would be tremendously, that would be tremendously thanked on my end, or I would be very grateful for that, is what I'm getting at. Sorry, I'm just watching Ibushi and Trent tie up, as you guys always can tell when I get distracted. I start Meltzering out. I'm just locked in. We got Aubrey in there as well, so I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I just don't want to see like Ibushi get hurt. I want to see he was fucking phenomenal back in the Nuge days, man, when they were on fire, and I was a big mark for this guy. And in the Cruiserweight Classic, if you guys saw his work there, fuck, man. And he had a couple matches in NXT, turned NXT down to see, that was dumb. I was just kind of looking away, but he looks good. Like, he's bumping well. He looks on point, and hopefully his like knee or foot doesn't fall off or whatever. Especially before All In, if they're trying to like establish him to get him in a match or something before All In. Which I'm grateful that they didn't just announce something and they have him at least working Trent. But I thought Trent retired or whatever too, so we'll see, guys. Okay, so yeah, shout out Globe Life Field, shout out AEW. I'm not going to shit on that show. I'm going to try and etch-a-sketch my brain and restart fresh with All in Texas. We're going to try and watch that show, go head-to-head with WWE, honestly compare, and then try and like give them a whole new chance. Right? Yeah, I would like that. Thank you, Phil Marks. Maybe I'll come do your show. I do podcasts with even less subs, but I won't do yours, but maybe I will. Just don't ask me about Big Swole or anything. Haha. So he announced it. Tony announced it because this is what he falls back on. He had one good concept, which, by the way, isn't even a good concept, chat. It's actually a terrible concept. The fact that this casino gauntlet match is supposed to, I'm going to explain it, and I've explained this every single time. The idea is the first person who gets pinned, or what's the casino gauntlet? Is this the one where they draw the jokers? Or whatever the fuck, chat, explain it. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with his fucking matches. They're like Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede, same thing. Then he does the gauntlet match, or there's like the Royal Rumble or whatever, where there's, or is that the Double or Nothing Battle Royal or whatever, where someone draws like a Joker card or the Ace of Spades or whatever. The Ace of Spades. And then the casino gauntlet match is where first fall to a finish. So whoever gets the first pin wins the match, but then they expect us to believe there's 30 guys there flown in from all over the world, other feds, who, if fucking Ricochet pins Mike Bailey when only 5 guys get in, that means we know everyone's going to come in and then the pin's going to happen. You guys know what I mean? Like, it stooges the format, doesn't even make sense, right? It should be once everyone enters, then it's first fall to a finish, or it's just pin, submission to elimination. And then falls count anywhere. That's how you make this match interesting. You don't do fucking, the first guy who gets pinned wins the match, unless they fixed it, and I don't know. But it can't be whoever gets a pin or a tap out wins. Because then Mystico's sitting back there. You mean to tell me they flew him in and he doesn't even get a shot? Like, in kayfabe, that doesn't even make sense. So the actual idea of the match is pretty dumb. Okay? It's a terrible concept. No one points that shit out. Okay? They're all just like, what a great match. And they are fun if you forget about that glaring hole in the fucking rules of the match. This is how you fix it, Tony. Make it elimination style. And that's why you earn the title shot, because a bunch of people get pinned, and don't worry about, they're all buried and shit, and make it falls count anywhere. Or you make it, and then that way, people can go do like their dive off the stage, because it's AEW, they're going to do that, and then they can just pin their guy out there. It's not like, they're just gone and they just fight off, No, they get eliminated or whatever. Or you just make it one fall to a finish, but everyone has to enter the ring, right? And there's no DQ, but the fucking pin has to happen in the ring. That's how you fix that match and make it 10 times better. And then it's more believable, and I'll tell you why, because that's already a stipulation anyways. That's already the stip, because we know all the entries are going to come in. But you don't know. We don't tell you how many entries there are. That's the mystery of it. That's fucking dumb, because we know you didn't kayfabe, fake pretend book 7 people that then didn't enter the match. Like that, we understand. Like, you guys get what I'm getting at, right? The curtain's too far back in 2025 for us to go, this in storyline, he actually booked like 7 more guys who just didn't get in. That's dumb, So yeah, the women get one as well. So it's like the Royal Rumble, but this is all in one night. So there's 2 gauntlet matches in one night, and then like 12 other matches on top of that. It's fucking craziness, man. Now, this would work if you had like 4 headlining matches and then 2 of these gauntlet matches. Okay. Or if this is 2 separate nights. Okay. But it's pretty fucking crazy. And the Royal Rumble does it. Yeah. And they have 1 or 2 other matches besides those matches. You know what I mean? So it's wild, man. It's a lot of wrestling we're going to be consuming that day. I'll be streaming all of it. PWT live show. Make sure you're locked in here. So Sydney Akeem, the former Reggie, the former Scripps, says, if we are talking about entertaining, then put me on your television show, because I'm guaranteed to drop jaws. Tony Khan, it's time. And so he showed up in TNA randomly, was in a X Division match. He was in the Ultimate X match. He didn't sign there. He's not with WWE or anything like that. But now he's tagging Tony Khan and saying it's time. And I think he thought Tony was going to scoop him and push him to the moon because of this crazy acrobatic shit. Because everybody knows. The boys all know what Tony likes. That's why they do this style. Now, I won't lie. Ibushi didn't look half bad either. And Trent, I don't care what anyone says, he is a good pro wrestler. Okay, I get it. If you don't like Chuck Taylor and shit, that's fine. But Trent has always been solid. And a guy that if he didn't want to do all that goofy shit for so long, they could have seriously pushed him in AEW as well. Especially with a name like Trent Beretta. I mean, come on. But they like had his mom driving him to the, it's like you couldn't be any fucking, you couldn't have shit on this guy's career anymore. Anyways, though, speaking of getting their career shitted on, Sidney Akeem has not been shit on yet, but I think you're entering that territory when you're tagging Tony Khan begging. And I love Sidney Akeem. I've played his highlights on this show multiple times for a reason, because he does this flippy shit. But he's like a legit high-level Cirque du Soleil guy who is trained properly in NXT, and it works, you know? Just watch some of this crazy shit. Fuck a mother, because I'm down for ma. I can't sing that one. I ride for ma. I ride for ma. Right? I can't sing that one, chat. But you guys know what it is. Dude, that's pretty crazy. That's some Ninja Mac shit. You know what I'm saying? So AEW's Tony Schiavone flew cross country to adopt a rescue dog from Monroe's Motley Zoo. And Tony Schiavone, round of applause for him, man. He went and adopted and saved his dog. And that's good for him, man. A good dude. I know people clown Schiavone now for his work. That's one thing, but he's a good dude. You know, I don't know him, but from all accounts, any shoot interviews, anytime anyone's talked about him, it's not like he's a raging piece of shit. Tony pays him well, and he goes to bat for his guys. You can't blame him for that. AEW reportedly created father and son tag team titles a year ago.
Come on now, Eric.
What? You fucking mark! So original plans would have seen father and son teams, including Christian and Nick Wayne. So they're not even really a father and son, A. Who else could challenge Billy Gunn, who's going back to WWE, and the Gunn boys who you don't use? Are Dustin Rhodes' kids? This is what I mean. Tony Khan has trios titles. He doesn't have a fucking trios division. He goes, oh, father-sons. Yeah, let's have father-sons tag teams. It'll be the first of its kind. Why? Because he's trying to artificially, he goes, well, Dominic and Rey Mysterio are the first father-son combo to hold the tag belts together in history or whatever. Or like there was others before, but like in WWE. So for me, I'll have titles for father and sons or whatever. I swear that's how he comes up with this shit. I swear, man. It's so bad. God, thank God he didn't do this. And if Body Slam's lying, shame on them. But you know Tony's like, we have lots of belts in the office. We just haven't unveiled. Original plans, yeah, would have seen father-son teams. Who are the other ones? Name another one. It's so fucking bad. Yuta and Moxley. Bring your kid to work day. Jesus, man. Fucking so bad. It's just, he has such bad creativity. You know? Intergender tag titles are a better idea than father-son tag titles, Tony. That's how much you hate women's wrestling, bro. Oh my God. Well, here's another men's tag division. He has an ROH tag division, no division. He has AEW tag titles, no division. He has trios titles, no division. 6-man titles, no divisions. Can't name more than 4 6-mans. Has 2 divisions. A father-son division. Or is it just belts for them to hold belts? Tell a fucking story, man. Bring a writer in. Bring me in to save your fucking company, Tony Khan.
The best
I will
guys,
save
Tony
your
Khan.
company. Fuck. This is crazy. Okay, moving along before I punch a hole through my computer screen. Tony Khan, and vote in the poll, guys. If you're on X, there's over 300 of you watching. Come on over to youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Vote in our poll, please. What title are you most looking forward to? The unified title, the rumored AEW women's tag titles, the father and son tag titles, or the PWT flute weight heavyweight titles of the universe? Vote in the poll below. So AEW creates women's tag team titles, as I just brought up. And yeah, man. So who? So you're going to give him to Ty J, and then who's your other team? Fuck, bro. He's getting desperate. It's battle royals, tournaments, casino gauntlets, and fucking belts. That's all he's got in his chamber. He has literally nothing else. And anything you guys see that's somewhat story-wise are the wrestlers pitching it themselves, and then other wrestlers coming in and going, well, yeah, but what if we do this because my guy this, my character this, and then they sort of come to an agreement, and then Tony goes, and it'll culminate after this tournament, I do. And then it's just all fucked up. So, I mean, okay, women's tag belts, all right. You need those, right, for the fucking 2 women's matches you have per week. Like, fuck, man. So Collision, as I talked about earlier, a 426K average viewer key demo. So that's like 100,000 jump up for them, sort of, if you want to chalk it up or break it down, twist it, whichever way. Tony Storm's cutting Carmen Sandiego promos. You had Ibushi on the show, so people wanted to check that. You had AR Fox versus Mox, which I don't know, man. AR Fox is like a vet in the game, and I don't mean to shit on him. Like a lot of wrestlers and like wrestlers I fucking talk to and I've acquainted with really respect this guy, and I do too. But he just don't be selling, man. I don't know what it is. Like, dude's got to learn how to sell. I don't know, but he's impressive physically, and the moves he's innovated, and people bite his shit. He does some stuff that's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. And, you know, you had Fletcher and Adam Cole. I mean, I would just put that title Adam Cole has on Fletcher and keep it moving. Like, or did they do that? Fletcher should be your TNT champ and just get rid of Garcia and all these geeks. Like, what are you even fucking worried about them for? You know, you have Fletcher, and he's solid as shit. Got a great look. That pink gear he's wearing. He's got to just do variants of that, like do like a baby purple, a baby blue, like a green version of that. Keep doing the yellow, those, you know, those macho man type, those flamboyant, those flagrant colors, and just keep doing your thing. His look is great. He's in tremendous shape. He wrestles well. Fletcher cuts great promos. That's their top prospect, I would say, him and Takeshita for sure. And then, yeah, they pop a bit of a rating, but look at the key demo, 0.10. So they're like, yay, we popped a bit of a rating, but where's the key demo going? They're leaving, bro. Those kids that the Rizzler brought in for a few weeks, they're leaving, bro. And, yeah. Oh, they're just all on Max. No, dude. It's because you're starting to tell more stories. And like, if Tony Storm and Mox are going to be on both shows, then you got to tune into both shows. And if you're like Ibushi's here and he's saving Omega, and then you got to tune into the other show, then that's what people are doing. But it's starting to skew older. Why? Because if there's nothing on, the older people will put the shit on. They'll put the matches on. And also, young people can't get into this shit because this is just bad Vince McMahon WCW 2000 level creative, and that's all it is. Vince had to usher in the ruthless aggression era after all that shit because he botched the invasion, and it was just old man. Yeah, we're old man cool biker dudes, Jack. And it's like, all right, that's no one cares anymore, right? It's like, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Is stupid, you know. That shit is in movies now. We don't care, you know? And then it just, it became like, I'm just joking, guys. But, you know, it's like the Italian mobster. Like, all the mobsters have podcasts now. And they're just, like, telling you what mobsters did. And, like, the mob is just, like, in movies now. It's not even a thing, you know? So yeah. It's just skewing older because of those reasons, you know, that I laid out before. And I just think that, and we've been calling it out for a long while, you know, AEW is just going to skew older with the bad creative. It's the WCW 2000. It's just like bad New Japan, TNA, like the people who are still holding on to TNA, Ring of Honor. Like Ring of Honor fell into that indie lull of kind of, and now it's on TV. So these older heads who used to watch New Japan World, but now they own homes a decade later and have kids, or maybe they don't, I don't know. And they like buy you watch cable. The older you get, you're like, fuck, I want to flip channels again. It's funny, but yeah, that's what's happening. I'm telling you, it's going to keep skewing that way as well until Tony get someone creative in there. And I'm not saying older folks can't have the keys to the kingdom or the right ideas, right? But it's just about people want nostalgia, but they want like new and hip at the same time. WWE's doing the perfect mix of both. AEW is like, look at this old Ring of Honor stuff that we're still doing the same type of shit here now, right now. And it's like, well, man, 1 million people weren't watching Ring of Honor. They would have been. Ring of Honor would have done All In, Texas, Globe Life if they could have did it. But they couldn't do it, bro. So why are you leaning in that direction? Like, find your own identity. And that's my biggest problem with AEW is their lack of creativity and their identity crisis. You know what I mean? So moving along here, AEW has reportedly been way more picky with signing former WWE talent. The reason for this is reportedly due to past situations of former WWE talent signing with AEW and not enjoying their time there before returning to WWE. Yeah, go figure. It's almost like a bunch of us said that was going to happen, and then we got fucking attacked and called E-drones and called assholes, and now it's just that's what's reported on. Bryan Danielson took over the crowd at AEW Grand Slam Mexico. Why the fuck didn't we play this on the last show? I don't know, but here you go. Here's Danielson just cutting a promo.
Oh, Mexico. Gracias por darle la bienvenida a AEW RSS a la Arena México.
Oh, did I play this? Okay, good for me then. There you go. Shout out Danielson. I know I played him running out to his music and shit, but I don't think I played his promo. AEW's returning to the Hammerstein Ballroom later this year. Ballroom? Oh, I need you to move seats. I need some ballroom over here. Speaking of ballroom, there's empty seats all over this place. Oh, I was looking for it. I knew it'd come. I was looking for it. Tony Storm, I am not some other motherfucker, and the copyright owner pulled this down, so I guess fuck us for trying to promote AEW. Christian Cage, she said live on Collision, though, I am not some other motherfucker. She just swore right on TV. Christian Cage is reportedly the one that pushed for his on-screen reunion with Cope to be put on hold. Well, you fucked up, Christian, because Tony went, oh, okay, now we're just not going to do anything with you. That's how it happens. That's how Tony Khan, well, okay, you don't want to do this idea I have right now, then you're just frozen, no other ideas. He's just, and whether it's pettiness or just like lack of ability, I don't know what it is, man. But either way, he reportedly wants to complete a storyline with Nick Wayne. Well, it's a good thing we fucking have gotten that story's been progressing. Like, holy shit, man. They're barely on fucking TV ever. So, yeah, let's wrap that up. The fact we haven't had a conclusion to that Nick Wayne Christian shit by now is preposterous. That's the thing, too. Tony puts shit in motion, and then like a year later, he's like, oh, they're broken up now. And then expect people to be invested in that. It's fucking preposterous, man. And we should have saw Edge and Christian break up already, have a match. They already did break up. They should have had matches with each other, unified already, and, unbroken up with each other, and then had a tag team title run already. Going into this All In, it should be title, for career or whatever, like their titles and careers on the line or some shit. And then they both ride off into the sunset. Like they should already be having a tag team title run, putting fucking, respect on those titles, like, and adding prestige to them and taking out all the tag teams and barely scraping through as like the old veteran team. It's crazy. So yeah, Ibushi came back. We just watched him work. He did a good job. So Fozzy, Chris Jericho's Fozzy will be on a UK tour with special guests, Tail Gunner, Marissa and the Moss. Yeah, youth gone wild. Look how young we are. Yeah, look how young the one guy to my right is, but actually he just looks good for his age. He's really 46. Yeah. So they're going all over the UK, dude. All of February. So a February UK tour. He could show up at the Royal Rumble as a surprise, do this tour, come back, build up to WrestleMania, have one last match, put Dominic Mysterio over, retire, and then just sign a Legends deal and do Fanatics and have Fozzy play at the fucking WrestleManias and get inducted and do all that. Jericho, do that, man. Just redeem everything, okay? We know that you miss that shit and you see the business WWE's doing and you want to be a part of it. And we know that you're the youth and the youth's gone wild, bro. And you need to run wild, brother, all over fucking WWE one last time. And yeah, dude, debut a new single as your theme song. Have it go to number 1. Produce the theme for an upcoming NXT PLE as well, right? And do that sort of thing. Reinvigorate Fozzy. Reinvigorate your boat tour, and you can have people work your boat shows from TNA and AAA and WWE, right? And NXT and Evolve or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? They can all go and do the boat shows with you. And just do it one time, man. Do it. Redeem yourself, dude. You disappeared from AEW TV for a reason. You knew, dude. You know. The writing's on the wall. The writing's on the easel. You know, bro. But you acting like you don't know, so come back and tear the club up faux show at Live next year. WrestleMania Double or Nothing, baby. Do it, dog. And I know chat's freaking out and they don't want that, but I want to see it happen. And the schedule works. But I wouldn't be shocked if Tony's like, 10 million, Jericho, 9 million. I would not be shocked. 10 million, just stay here, please. Please, you're our first Hall of Fame inductee. So, moving along. Oh, here is what Tony Storm said. There you go. So nice, I bookmarked it twice.
Dang! In my bosom, I make magic happen.
Here's the thing with Tony Storm. She does cut good promos, and it is funny, but it's becoming like MJF a little bit, where it's like, huh, you fat little dick, fuck you, huh, your mother. It's like every time she's like, my pussy. It's like, all right, we get it, like. And it is her character, but it's very middle schoolish. And DX was middle schoolish. Yeah, and we were all in middle school. Well, at least I was, okay? And all the wrestlers now and everyone who's like, we were in middle school saying suck it to our friends at school. That was me. I was doing that. I would draw DX. I'd write in my fucking journal. You do journal in school. You got to write a paragraph. I'm writing about DX and shit. That was me. I was that kid. I was that kid walking down the hallway, keep rolling. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. You know what I mean? So it's very middle schoolish though. And eventually Tony's more than just that, as she's shown many times. But I do think what she's doing is good, but I'm calling it now. It's going to get played out. Just like the scissor me daddy ass got played out. Just like the MJF shit got played out.
So unless you plan on pulling a rabbit from your snatch, I highly doubt you can say the same. So at All in front of the entire world, and that little girl watching from home, you will look me in the eye and you will realize that I'm gonna have to beat you and you're gonna have to kill me.
So if Monet doesn't beat her, well, she's like, you have to kill me. I just hate when people bring that into wrestling, because then it's like, then they have to, or else it's not, you all look dumb. Here's my theory as well, because we talked about before, we're like, how is Monet going to get rid of, like, how is she going to lose these belts one by one? The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The titles go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. It's like, does she lose them all one by one? And the 2x2? No, I think I'm going off tonight with the song reference. It must be the coffee. I don't know. I'm caffeined up. I think she drops all of them, or like the majority of them, in like I put all my belts on the line, and then she fucking loses them all, and then that person has to go drop them. If that happens, that's the most Hulk Hogan shit ever. And then Monet can get her win back over that person for like just the AEW belt or whatever. Oh man, that's the most Hulk Hogan shit, and I think that's how she'll pull it off. Anyways, here's Toni Storm.
It's in my bosom.
So I don't know. And then she said, motherfucker. Sorry, they did. So I clipped both of these parts, or I bookmarked clips of both of the parts. So the motherfucker wasn't in here. She says motherfucker right on TV on Collision. Right. So if you are into that shit, the rating's going to go up. It's kind of childish to me. I don't know. Dynamite tonight takes place in Washington. This is, by the way, from Awful Wrestling. Swerve is from there. Bryan Danielson lives there, but AEW can't even get to 50% capacity. The building holds 6,500. Growth my ass. Yeah, they sold 2,000 tickets, and this is the same thing. They go to Cincy with Moxley as their world champion, hot heel champion, and they sold like 1,200 tickets as well. That was like last year, I think, at the end of last year. Or maybe the beginning of this year. It's just embarrassing, man. Danielson's from there. I mean, he's not on the show, Awful. Oh, come on now, Awful. That's not very fair. Well, you and I both know Danielson's not there. Or maybe he is. Kissing babies. I don't know about that. Chat me up about Washington. But yeah, Swerve's from there and just no hype. And the New Japan guys head through Washington a lot as well, and so that's why Ibushi's out there as well tonight. And again, just not a big drawl B, as Brendan Schaub would say. Moving along, here's Mercedes Monea reacting to her wrestling in the Tokyo Dome, Madison Square Garden, Wembley Stadium, Arena Mexico, and her six belts Monet. Here's her reaction to it. Let's take a listen. She started with a even her sighs are
I have goosebumps thinking about it. Wrestling has saved my life, has changed my life, has
wrestling has saved my life, changed my life.
Brought me so many different opportunities. Let me live out my dreams.
People are probably like, why are you roasting how she talks? Because it's funny, okay?
And
it fucking is. Objectively, it's fucking funny. Here, she sounds more real here, though, so it's not honest thick. I know I'm hyping it up, but she is being, like, real here. Actually, it seems more genuine than her like cheesy promos that Jen Pepperman writes for her, you know?
Changed my life, has brought me so many different opportunities and let me live out my dreams. And the fact that I am the first woman
See, now she's bullshitting. And the fact that I am the first woman
to wrestle in all of the major, incredible historic arenas, I really have no words for it. I'm just
Force actor class, Mandalorian ass, Andor ass, Disney Star Wars ass, crying CGI ass. No, I'm just joking. I don't know, man. Chad, what do you think? She being genuine or not? Am I trying to give her the benefit of the doubt too much, or am I cooking?
so thankful. I can't believe it. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. I'm so thankful
I'm so thankful to wrestling.
to wrestling. Thank you so much for letting me live out
Thank you so much for letting me
my dreams. Thank you to the fans for supporting me and following the journey of Mercedes Moné. And you know what? There might be 4 major legendary arenas, but Mercedes Moné is going to be here for a very
Mercedes Moné is going to be here for a very long time.
long time. So I plan to wrestle in every arena all over the world. But it's very cool to add this another accolade to my historic career.
Has she ever wrestled in Saudi, chat? Monet, has she had that accolade yet?
That's amazing.
Yeah, good for her, man. I'm glad that she's getting this push. It's smart. I mean, if anybody, she has the name from WWE. She built herself off of that, and she still credits WWE for all of that. And I mean, if you're gonna do something like this, it's good AEW's helping facilitate it. Is it good for these other promotions? I think they see the benefit in it. Like, listen, man, it doesn't hurt to have your women's title on an over woman. Like, it's hard to get women over like that in pro wrestling, you know? And in 2025, we're seeing more of it happen, and a lot of them are doing it on their own merit. And in WWE, you're seeing a lot of women being trained and just pumped out, and they're superstars. So I don't know, man. If someone's going to do it, it should be Monet, I guess. It's just, we'll see when she finally drops these shits. If the goal is just give her all the belts so Tony Khan can mark out about she's like Jushin Thunder Liger or whatever, then okay. But if there's like a really good payoff to all this where we're like, holy fuck, she actually really did good, laid down for everyone, went on the greatest losing streak ever, and then is telling this story of like, I'm on my last ropes and this is my last run, and if I can't work my way back up and get to a title, like if she goes to WWE and says like, I fell to the bottom of bottom, like I left here, won every world title, fell out, like if I can't make it, that's when I decided if I can't make it here, then I can't make it anywhere, then I shouldn't do this anymore. Like, it should be some shit like that. If there's something like that at the end of this, I'm here for it, Eric. But if it's just like, put it on her for now so we can get this moment and all of us feds can get some eyeballs on our shit. Because, man, like when Monet did her New Japan Strong announcements on the New Japan YouTube and shit, like it got no views and stuff, dog. Like, it didn't help them at all. I thought that they thought that shit would help them in America greatly. It didn't help them at all. So CMLL, listen, and here's the thing. This isn't her creative control. She doesn't have creative control over CMLL. Okay? CMLL's down with giving her this belt. She's more over than Zeus or whoever the fuck is. You know what I mean? So they're all down with it. And that's fine, right? That's their prerogative. There's another woman named Viva Van who I've brought up on this show before. Fucking Tony. Someone scoop her up, man. Okay? And she's got all these belts on the indies, and she's like she's signed to AEW, I think, on like a ROH, AEW. She can wrestle indies, but she's not on like a salary. She can't go to WWE or anything, I don't think. But she has all these belts, man, and her and Monet have been going back and forth. And like Viva Van's saying to Monet, like, I'm the head of creative control or whatever. like creative control, like making fun of Monet, and like it's in good taste. But Monet might go and take her 12 titles, and what I'm saying is like Viva Van doesn't have creative control over all these feds that put all these, and a bunch of you probably don't even know who the fuck she is, right? She's been on Collision a couple times. She's a really good wrestler though. I don't know why she hasn't been scooped up. But yeah, like, you know, she doesn't have creative control over all these feds. But it's funny how Monet's like, put all yours up, I'll put mine up. It's like, damn, what if Monet just takes all of her random 12 fed belts? That'd be crazy. But yeah, so what it boils down to though is they see the incentive of like, okay, then if she wins our belt, then that means she has to come back here and drop it. Means AEW, we can ask and say we want this talent or that talent. And then, yes, on the Dynamite show, we have to let Tony go, well, Speedball and Kevin Knight are going to save the Luchas, and MJF's just going to shit all over luchadors in Mexico. And then 2 Americans, a Canadian and a French Canadian and an American. Kevin Knight's American, right? Or is he from the UK? Are going to save these luchadors. What the fuck, man? So they want Monet to have these belts too. You know what I'm saying? And we know Tony wants her to have these belts. So here's a moment where the crowd ended a segment by cheering, "We can't hear you." And Statlander is now being tempted by Mox and shit, and no one wants Stat. Everyone loves Stat. They're like, yeah, put her with the fucking Bumbaclot clan. Like, what? This is the worst booked wrestling show in the history of humankind. And then Mox is like, listen, his like mic cuts out, and then everyone's like, we can't hear you.
Don't ever let anybody tell you who you are or what you're worth.
You can just hear like background production shit. They're chanting, "We can't hear you." What? They might as well have wanted it, bro. What do you say to those sickos? "We can't hear you." Where's everyone melting down? How dare they chant that at my precious wubs? Right? And then, like, no one wants Stat with the Bumbaclot clan, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And so here's a fake one. So earlier, I got worked by a fake Ric Flair talking about Coom and Dookie. Don't ask. And this one is obviously fake, but Donald Trump on Truth Social says, I'm very disappointed in Tony Khan and how he's booked that shit show after 6 years. You'd think he'd have what it takes. How much longer should Americans suffer before you hand over the book? 3 months? 6? Ever? That's fucking hilarious. Obviously a fake one. But yeah, dude, that, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi ni Sanda all together for AEW news this Wednesday night. Oh man, what a fun time. We have Briscoe cooking MJF here quite a bit. Let's check in with chat. Maddie for 2 says Dave Meltzer is the lied Piper. Brian. Fuck is Brian. There you go. You got a Brian. The lied Piper. Yeah, dude, pretty much. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, the flute thing's really caught on like wildfire. And now people calling him the lied Piper, which is obviously just a play off of the flute thing that I've created. This animal I have become. 626 for 2 says dropped a 30% more Fed sucking shirt in the Discord. 30% more Fed sucking. That's sick. Yeah, let me look at that. DM me shit, okay? And I'll approve of what we start floating out there in the Discord, okay? So everyone discard anything 626 has said. Lincoln, go delete it. No, we'll look at it. But yeah, yes, I'm very particular and I have certain ideas. And I don't know about having things like sucking on. That's something AEW would do. So, but we'll talk about it. Okay. Regina Sharp, 5. Tony needs a no division title. Yeah, well, that's what the whole fucking show is. No, that's what Ospreay and Swerve are competing for at this pay-per-view. Just feuding with the Bucks because they're the Bucks, and they work their way whenever it's convenient for them. They take breaks and fuck off, and then they show up to work people for the big pay-per-views when it's convenient for them, when it doesn't actually benefit the pay-per-views or PLEs at all. So Kenny D for 5 says, haters, I monkey flip them with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, playing composition, slaying. I'm like Scarface sniffing cocaine. Home of the. It's been so long. New York State of Mind. I could fucking spit that whole thing if the song was on right now, but it's been so long since I've, so it's like off the top, I can't remember the shit in order, but good pull. New York State of Mind. It's just Fed tinged. It doesn't say Fed sucking. Oh, okay. Phil, you should look at Speedball's new Ben 10 inspired gear. Ben 10's cool. He's all right. We have 626 for 2. It's not Fed sucking. It's just Fed flavored. Oh, okay. No, I get what you're putting down now. Dude, there's a literal Blue Chew ad. Well, I guess we can talk about it because it's a bit. It didn't say Fed sucking. Actually, come on now, Eric. That's not very fair, Phil. To imply it said Fed sucking. He meant Fed flavored, as in the style. It's in the style of what an E-drone would like. That's not very fair to do a Blue Chew ad before StarCast. Actually, it's very on brand. Actually, it is very. I'm here for it. I'm here for healthy brand integration, Eric. I think actually that is Tony Khan as a fair booker. Chat me up about brand integration, having Blue Chew ads at the same time as StarCast heading into All in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and your dick can get bigger too with a Blue Chew, Eric.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
Holy shit, man. Oh, man. Speaking of Fed, we got some Fed news. Let me hydrate, chat. I got a Diet Coke going. Okay. Oh, and a coffee. Any news on WB and AEW news? No, there's nothing more developing, man. It's just playing it by ear right now, and we know what the news is. By mid-2026, we'll really know what's going on with like everything with WB, BD. And if Superman flops, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking Superman as well. If Superman flops, yeah, and guys, go and check out my fucking top 10 videos on my YouTube channel, Phil Marks Out, if you like pop culture. I'm switching it up though. Like, it's not just superhero shit. So I'm gonna do top 10 Summerween movies, and I'm gonna have some shit. I'm gonna be linking up with some folks talking Squid Games and stuff like that. So make sure you guys are fucking over there too, subbed up. Okay. And yeah, if Superman flops, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens with that, but yeah, I don't know. I just think, yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that. If that one flops, then I don't know how much further they're gonna go with that whole DCU. Although a lot is in motion, and like I'm telling you, a lot is in motion. And I think Superman will do well. I bet it'll make money, but I don't know if it's going to do like gangbusters the way like a Batman or a Spider-Man would do. But at the same time, this one could shock a lot of people just based off of how much hype is around it. Like even the fucking haters are going to go see it, you know? Even all these people who make all this content like shitting on movies constantly they're all intrigued. Like everyone's talking about it, you know? So I can't wait to see it and be the judge of it myself. You know, people talk so much shit. Oh, it's gonna flop. It's this. It's fucking James Gunn's just inserting his. You haven't even seen the movie yet. You know, I saw that fucking Az guy. I forget his name, Az, and he was just melting down about and fucking James Gunn inserted his fucking and it's the. It's like you haven't even seen it yet. Fuck you talking about, man? Jesus Christ. And yeah, I just have faith in James. Just remember Guardians 1. Everyone just wrote that shit off. People went and saw it because they had faith in the MCU, and that movie blew everyone away. That was the first MCU movie that blew me away, that I wasn't looking forward to at all. And Guardians was unreal. One of the best trilogies. So I have faith Gunn can pull it off. But yeah, some of the most recent trailer, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know about this. But yeah, I'm going to go check it out, and Squid Game, and I'm going to go see Fantastic Four, which I think will flop harder than Superman. Yeah. And then what else? Like, I don't know. I'm going to talk about all this on Philmarks Out, okay? So I know you guys like that talk too. Go and subscribe to that channel, and I'm going to do discussions with people and streams where I break this down and I rant about shit. My reviews, I'm going to do reviews for Ironheart as well, but I'm going to like freestyle rant them. I'm just going to like hit record, go, and then upload it for you guys, okay? With like minimal edits on it. Just, you know, there'll be edits like picture edits and shit, but yeah, anyways. Enough about that. Let's talk some wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, doing a run-in to promote his UK Fozzy tour. It's my uncle, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild. Yay!
Oh yeah, hit that like button. Yeah. Hit that like button, chat. Run them up. What's chat saying? The only Superman I acknowledge is Dean Cain, another great one. Great signing. Wild dude really thinks he sings good. The youth gone wild. He said, pay me, Phil, at the end. Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. He uploaded it to Facebook, so he signed the rights away as soon as he did that. It's public domain now. Phil, you know, Ironheart was ripped off, right? Disney ripped it off an adult film. I have no idea what you mean by that, but what I know is that Ironheart is like one of the worst runs of Marvel Comics in the history of fucking Marvel Comics, that sold no books and no one gives a shit about Riri Williams. And they somehow just inserted that, and she's like an Iron Man, and there's all these videos of her and RDJ that where Robert Downey Jr. is like forcefully sending her videos on behalf of Disney, like, please fucking, we love this show. This show's great. I'm passing the torch. But in the MCU and Black Panther 2, they couldn't just make it where she was a brilliant student at MIT or whatever, or wherever she was studying, but she fucking like admired Tony Stark. They should have just put posters of Tony Stark on the wall, and then that's why she has her hot rod in that garage and is building an Iron Man suit. She just is a low-key Iron Man stan girl. That would have fucking saved her character right there, just off rip on a fundamental, because in universe, Iron Man is known as the guy who saved the whole fucking world. The whole universe. He blipped everyone back. The world's acknowledged it. There's monuments and all this shit. So it drives me fucking nuts. Actually, I'm doing Toonie Talk TV tomorrow, guys, with Marv the Movie Monster and all that. So make sure you tune in. I'll actually be on there ranting about all this shit. So Yeah, man, I don't know. There's so many things they could have done, and that shit really fell off. And Ironheart, again, just from like my, work, my old work that I did more of before I was YouTubing more. I fucking just know from around, like, Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. That was always a thing for like so long now. And again, man, that's just such a travesty. I'm glad I have my new channel where I can bitch about this shit or put shit over. But like, Sacha Baron Cohen could have been a good Doctor Doom. It's just a travesty that they're wasting Mephisto, debuting him in Ironheart, and they used Miss Marvel to introduce the X-Men. Like, no one wanted that, man. And Miss Marvel wasn't even like that terrible of a show, but like in the first episode it was really good. Then they just lost the plot. Like if the whole show was like that first episode where she's in school and here's my quirky counselor and it would have been a great show. But then they just lost the plot. They just went off into this whole fucking, and then now we're all mutants. And it's like, all right, I don't know, terrible. Anyways, people are tuning out of this show because they want to hear pro wrestling. Let's move along. So let's get into WWE news, ladies and gentlemen. We have some breaking news. So from the WWE Vault admin, WWE Vault quietly launched 1 year ago. Since then, we've amassed more than 2 million subs and 1 billion views. Thank you, our subscribers, for your support, requests, recommendations, and when the situation calls for it, corrections to make sure we stay on track. We humbly ask that you keep your ideas coming. To show that we're not turning a blind eye to some of the more popular requests, here are some updates. We haven't found footage of Kurt Angle versus Owen Hart or Hogan on the Snake Pit. Damn. More Omni live event videos are coming. No, Mystico versus Dean Malenko didn't happen. So people were like, fucking, did we want to see Mystico and Dean Malenko? We have some WCW Cyber Ring footage, mostly on green screen. We promise to keep searching high and low to bring you the best of the WWE archives. Fuck, man. That channel rules, dude. You just throw that on any time, and it's good to go. Report, Chad Gable dealing with an injury. So who broke this news before fucking any dirt sheet did over here in South Parkland? Right? Husey comes on the show. Husey either came on the show, because he's been on the show. He came on like 2 or 3 times in recent memory, like all close together. So one of those times, or I relayed his message that he sent me about fucking Gable's banged up, man. And we pointed out at the AAA show and then El Grande Americano, we pointed out, like, at Money in the Bank, look how heavily his elbows taped up. And Husey was preaching it, man. Yo, people are banged up. Triple H knows this. And he literally told me if Stephanie and Gable are both working 2 matches that day, there's no chance not at least one of them isn't hurt badly after that shit. He's like, because Gable's already roughed up and they know this. And then boom, immediately after those events, Gable gets some time off. And now apparently he's out, like, recovering from the injury. It's obviously his elbow. Okay, if you guys are paying attention. And I wish him a speedy recovery again, man. Husey don't miss this fucking year here in 2025, seemingly. So shout him out for that. And yeah, hopefully we hear from him on Saturday, maybe, allegedly. Eddie Thorpe reveals that he actually requested his WWE release, which I don't know about that. So he says that I asked for my release from WWE so I could do something meaningful with my life. What? I set the goal to work there. I spent a decade working on it. I got it. And in my experience, I came to the conclusion I didn't want to do it. No, WWE wouldn't let me DJ for free in Vegas Mania weekend while other talent got to make money on their ventures. Okay, go and listen to my show with Husey, please. Again, to bring up Husey, but listen to what he had to say. You know, I think him and Kai, there was some backstage shit that people, and I don't want to be like the rumor floater out there. I'm not a dirt sheet, but I feel as though there's something like, because think about the way they were recently booking Thorpe and even Kai. They gave her no write-off, no conclusion to Damage Control. Like the people that left us sitting there going, what? How could they fire Cora Jade? Because she was fucking, people are pointing out all the ways she's messy backstage, and look at how she's talking. Look at how Fredericks is talking. Husey brought some shit up before, okay? And you can go back on the pod and listen to it. And yeah, man, I'll just leave it at that. I think that the people, because they were booking him over like Trick and shit. Recently, he went over, and that's who is the TNA champ and all this stuff. So it's not like they didn't have plans for him or anything. There's a reason this is shocking and a little bit bitter. Dakota got canned too. They're a couple. Strange that happened, especially, and then Dakota got no wrap-up for anything, you know? Didn't get to say goodbye or anything to Damage Control. Weird. So I'm not saying we all love Dakota Kai. I love her. But just go and listen to the pod I did with Husey one of the last times he was on, and I think you'll get some more insight there. Shout out Eddie Thorpe, too. That's my guy. Again, if you go way back, you guys know I put him over harder than a motherfucker, representing that indigenous shit. So Fade Away Media says, imagine pissing off John Cena like this. And so John Cena was recorded without asking. This was his reaction. Now, I think this was Kevin Hart's friend, because at the end, Kevin Hart starts trolling him and gets his attention away. And I think Kevin Hart, who is there doing Cold as Balls live with like CM Punk and other people, I think he put his friends up to this, and this is like a social media thing. That's my opinion on it. If I'm misinterpreting that, you guys let me know.
John Cena, can I get a picture? Appreciate it, John Cena. What you wearing?
I'm a big fan of consent, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you'd like to take a video.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I apologize. Oh, that's good? Sorry about that. Nah, no problem.
Take a deep breath. You might feel I'm in a tough situation.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. No, that's all good.
I just know it's kind of chaos back here.
Listen, it's all good.
I'll give you whatever you want as long as you ask. I appreciate it.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Look how Cena got mad, and then he comes and walks it back, and it's like, dude, I'm sorry for the way I just acted, because he knew the media was gonna, all the sickos, look at him.
Please, I don't want anything to sign this.
See, then Kevin Hart comes up, and then they had cameras on the guy trolling Cena at the Originality show. I'm like 99% sure it was just Kevin Hart trolling with his people. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? And the guy's going, yeah, you know?
John Cena, can I get a picture?
And then he shook his hand. I don't know. I think that was just like a prank or whatever. Jelly Roll will be on SmackDown July 11 in Nashville. What does he sing again? Jelly Roll? Somebody save me from myself. But yeah, he'll be on SmackDown in Nashville. Let's do it. Breaking per sources, WWE and NXT are set to launch a residency at the Apex this fall. Phil don't fucking miss. And as part of TKO's and WWE's long-term venue strategy. Oh, a residency at the Apex. So they'll extend upon it, and they have fighter hotels already, and they'll build more, and then they'll build a PC there eventually as well, and the WWE folks will be able to use the PI. They don't want them flooding it yet as well, and then they don't want it overrun with the pro wrestlers, so you have something similar where there's food and state-of-the-art training. The PI and the PC, before TKO and UFC and WWE ever linked up, they were on the same page with all that shit. So yeah, man, this is just good. They'll have state-of-the-art everything, and like amazing. In this residency, they'll be able to shoot NXT Level Up or whatever. You know, they can do tapings, whatever they need to do. And yeah, dude, Nevada is like UFC, TKO head base. WWE's mostly in Florida, but they will start slowlier establishing themselves in Nevada as well. And yeah, just look for them to buy up land, build fighter and wrestler hotels. In case a fucking pandemic ever goes down again, they can do a whole production the way at the PC. They can do a whole production. The Apex is set up that way as well. When the Apex isn't being used, they can do residencies. crossovers, blah, blah, blah. All the UFC offices are there. There you go. And I fucking told you before anybody, this is what we were getting down the line. In Mexico, expect more of the same. There will be an NXT Performance Center down there. They're moving so fast. 2 years, chat? Can we? That's a long window for me, right? 2-3, give me that third with an option. AEW style, right? Edge style. Give me that third option. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're moving so fast. So I don't, especially with Mexico. It's like, whoa, man. And they just opened the UFC PI in Mexico, which Dana White and TKO, they laid all the groundwork. So now WWE, they don't really have to do anything. They just slide in and get the same shit down there. You know what I mean? Like UFC already did all the dirty work of like, what land? Are we going to keep people safe now? You know, we are in Mexico. Like, are we going to fucking, how, you know what I mean? Like, how are we going to get talent here? How much talent? How are we going to cultivate talent? Let's do these no-chase shows and blow the, right? So what is WWE doing with AAA and doing these Worlds Collide shows and, you know, pushing more and more in that direction? It's already the footprints there. They just got to come and trace around the lines. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So to get to the destination, right? The maze has already been ran by UFC. They just got to come in with their blue marker now and follow the lines and get to the exit, right? If that's a better analogy. So speaking of exit, on your way out of whatever grocery store you shop at, consider grabbing a Minute Maid Tropical Punch with Jey Uso on it with your favorite WWE superstars. So yeah, dude, Minute Maid is teaming up with WWE, and yeah, they have Cody Rhodes Fruit Punch, Bianca Belair Berry Punch, and Jey Uso Tropical Punch, dude. So go and try. Are you guys Minute Maid drinkers? I'm not much of a Minute Maid man myself, but there's an alliteration for you. Last night's WWE Raw at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio, was the highest grossing WWE event ever in the city. So 13,433 fans attended WWE Raw in Columbus, Ohio, the highest grossing WWE event ever in the city. Yay, capitalism, right? That's what the sickos say. But then when AEW does the same thing, none of them fucking keep the same energy. And so that they got called out for that. That's why they're not talking shit this time over here now. And yeah, people are like, WWE's been sucking, man. It's been in a terrible. I saw Belts by Dan. He's like, WWE fell off a cliff since Rumble. It's like, bro, did you not see the news about Raw today or yesterday? You know, craziness. And good for them. WWE NXT content filmed at an indie promotion. Okay. So what went down was, and they did a double taping, by the way, yesterday as well. So no spoilers, please. But the Vanity Project. So Bryce Donovan, Jackson Drake, and Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes with Zeta Steel were at ringside defeating TJ Crawford, Anthony Vecchio, Aaron Ortiz, and Love Doug. And it's part of the ID program. They filmed some content for NXT, I guess, involving those guys. So again, Evolve is getting indies now involved in NXT more. And for people who want to go, this is WWE, that's what Triple H was trying to do, was work with TNA. He wanted NXT to work with TNA. That's why he brought in Joe and James Storm and Bobby Roode. He was eyeing up all those dudes. And he brought in all the Ring of Honor indie guys, Adam Cole and fucking Sami Zayn and Steen and all the international folks, A-Kid, anybody with a buzz, Walter, right? This was always his plan to do this international, go to Mexico, go to the UK, but that all got fucked up because of speaking out. So now we're going to let it cool off there. And now we're working with WXW, but we're not, you know, we're going to slowly spread out through Europe and sort of rebuild that eventually. Yeah, that was always his plan. So now we're seeing it fleshed out with HBK at the helm as well. And good for him. Former WWE star Kacy Catanzaro has revealed that she's finally undergone surgery to fix her broken nose that she entered in the ring. And we talked about it with JC Jane because she revealed she hasn't gotten her nose fixed either. And, you know, she can't even breathe out of her nose. I told y'all, to fix these noses, sometimes they go, well, we're gonna re-break it and do this or whatever, right? So it's like sometimes you just hold off because it's like, well, fuck it, I gotta work. Like it's gonna be painful. It's a bad recovery. It's uncomfortable. Your fucking eyes are swelled up. Shit sucks, So sometimes people just put it off. Like I told the story about UFC middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis, South African born champion. He was a kickboxer and everyone would give him shit. They all thought he was tired during all of his UFC fights because he's just breathing heavy out his mouth. But his nose is broken so many times from kickboxing, he can't breathe out of his nose. So the dude waited till he got to the world title. He won the world title. Or maybe the fight before the world title. I believe he won the title, though. And then he went and got his broken nose fixed, and now the dude can breathe out of his nose, and he's even more of a killer. His cardio is, like, even better now. And, yeah, man, sometimes you just put it off because you're like, well, fuck it. It's just going to waste so much time, and it's painful. And once they fix it, it's easier to re-break and all that shit. So just wait till you get there. So, Casey, good on you. And, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully JC gets hers fixed after her title run's done. She went and got her nose fixed. She wouldn't get a fucking title run right now. She'd have missed it or something. So timing is everything. Kevin Nash on LA Knight. Yeah. So Kevin Nash shits on LA Knight quite a bit. Earlier on, we've covered it on the show. And so Nash has come around, though. He sees what we see. Do you see what I see? And he says, I'll tell you what, we gave him a lot of shit early in the show that he was a copycat and everything else. And I really appreciate him. He's a fucking solid hand. The people like him. He would definitely be on my list of guys to give a run to give a world run to. The only problem is he's a babyface. His work's always been solid. I just going to say also that fucker stays in fucking really good shape. Yeah, dude. And he looks great and he's awesome and he cuts good promos and he doesn't need a belt or anything. He doesn't need a fucking belt. The only accessory I want to see him with is like he wins Money in the Bank and then he puts like those LA Knight logos all over it, like the way he did his title, make it look like a Louis bag or whatever, a Louis V. That would be fucking hilarious. But otherwise, he doesn't really need a title. Now, yeah, I want to see him get that world heavyweight belt, but unless next year they play hot potato with the fucking world title, which maybe it's the move, maybe do it. Next year, just hot potato, give it to Sammy, give it to LA, give it to Punk, give it to Seth, give it to Jay, Jay had it. Who are we talking about the other day who probably worked their way to one? Just hot potato that belt around and then land it on someone like Breaker who goes on like a long run with it, and then fights like Jacob Fatu for it at the next Mania or whatever. Maybe that's what you do with the World Heavy next year. You just hot potato it. Logan Paul gets it. Fucking LA gets it. Everyone just gets it one time. Shinsuke sneaks in there, Fuck it. You just attitude era. And then the WWE at the same time, whoever the WWE champ is, you just keep them the same champ, Maybe you do that. You guys are willing to do it with the tag belt. If everybody claims that all these people deserve world title shots and to be world champions, then it surely doesn't diminish the titles, having them be hot potatoed like that. So fuck it. There's my pitch then for all the crybabies. I'm not saying we should do that, Chad. In a perfect world, we shouldn't hot potato it around. I don't get offended by not everyone being champ. But for all the sickos and wackos out there, you guys want to cry about it. Okay, then. There's my idea. I offer solutions. WWE Raw Netflix views for last Monday's episode were down from the big numbers they did the prior week. The show scored 2.7 million. Blah, 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 blah. Love you, Raj, and love your work. Ranked number 4 for the week in the U.S., number 1 the day of, and 9 globally. Still in the top 10. And Squid Games, people are watching Squid Game right now, and it's still in the top 10. So WWE has filed to trademark the Oracle. I'll take shittiest fucking names for a for a Seth Rollins faction for 500, Alex. I am the Oracle. Fuck out of here, man. People are starting to point it out. Have you guys noticed? People are pointing out what your boy Phil was saying about this Seth faction. And people are like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. We don't even have a name. They've been running around since Mania. He hasn't even been like, we're the revolutionaries. You know, it's fucking, I'm sorry. The guys are all cool. I'll watch Breaker do cool shit all the time. It's like Evolution. Well, no, maybe because they were super over, but it's like you put 4 cool guys together. They're fucking cool no matter what, or 3 cool guys, you know. Heyman's going to cut no matter what, whatever. It is what it is. But ultimately, like, they just fucked up. Reed should be switched with Mateo, and this team should have a name, and the Oracle is fucking so bad. That's some TNA fucking Eric Young type faction shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, it's to me, they're doing their thing, but this is also Seth can win Money in the Bank and maybe win a belt, and maybe fucking, you know, Braun gets the feather in the cap. He beat Penta. He got the first ever win by beating Penta. First ever singles win over Penta in WWE is what I'm getting at here. So that's a feather on his cap, but you know, are they going to drip gold? They're going to build up to it. That's good. You know, give him some accolades here and there, but just Seth as Money in the Bank holder. It's almost like regressive in a way, you know, and yeah, it is what it is. Other people are waking up too. A lot of wackos even are like, I ain't feeling this fucking faction. And it's like, I'm telling you, dude. And then if their name's the Oracle, like, come on, bro. Fuck out of here. Netflix is making a Ronda Rousey biopic. Ronda herself wrote the script based on her memoirs, and it'll cover her journey from Olympic judo to UFC and WWE stardom. Based on her memoirs, the movie promises an authentic look at her groundbreaking career and personal journey. Fuck yeah. I wonder who plays her. I wonder if here's her husband, Travis Brown, as well. And he was a UFC fighter, top like 5 in the world at one point. You know, maybe you could argue top 3 even in the world at one point. When Bret Hart got tackled by that guy, Travis Brown hit the fucking ring so fast. And this is a big heavyweight. This is a big fucking dude, 6'7", like probably when he's not cutting down to the 265, he's probably around that 280, 300 mark. And this dude hit the ring so fast, and he slipped in his dress shoes. Go back and watch the footage. And Travis Brown slips in his dress shoes getting in the ring. But he gets up really quick and still gets a hold of the guy. But the guy had time to, like, almost powder. Because you know how the guy tackles Brett, then people hit the ring, and the dude's, like, trying to get out the side of the ring, right? And everyone just swarms him. That guy is so lucky. Now, Brown did land some big punches on that fucking guy. He landed some big ones when you go back and watch. But he's so lucky that Brown wasn't the first guy to grab him and slipped on his way to the ring, because that'd have been a fucking death sentence, man. And then FTR, of course, famously rocked that dude. And I wonder if that'll be in the biopic. I doubt it will be, but I wonder. You know what I mean? Like, a part of me goes, because like Ronda hit the ring and she like grabs Natty. If you guys go back and watch the footage, right? Ronda runs up to Natty and is like, are you fucking okay? Because Natty like trained her and shit, helped get her ready for WWE, and they're really tight, and they're really tight with Tyson Kidd and all that. So it's like, I wonder, that would be a fucking crazy moment to have in like a biopic, to see that be recreated in like a wild movie about her life. But this seems more to be like her emotional trauma and struggles. Like, if you don't know her story, like, she was the only woman who went into this gym, and the fucking coach there wouldn't even like look her way. And he turned out to be like one of the biggest frauds in all. And her mother was a great judoka. And yeah, she has this crazy journey. And so and then now we discover she has like neurological issues and shit. So I'm sure it will be focused more on that, and hopefully is a celebration of her. I know people clown Ronda, but she truly was the Mike Tyson of women's MMA. That's the most perfect comparison, because she devastated everyone with ease. And then she faced like 2 people who really challenged her. And then she was never the same again. And then she went to WWE and sort of, that's what happened to Tyson. Like, when he ran into like Holyfield or Lennox Lewis, like, he just fucking, you know, he just got banged out. He was never the same. Like, you had to bite people's ears off and shit. It just, you know, it just wasn't the same. And so I would say that's a great comparison. Like, she would dominate everyone, but as soon as she faced adversity, she just, withered. And I'm not shitting on Tyson at all, but that's what happened to him, And yeah, so shout her out, and I hope they celebrate her. And she had a great run in WWE as well. I would say the peak of her WWE run, though, was just her match with Triple H, just that first match. That was, and Stephanie and Angle. That was like peak Rousey. Michael Chandler, speaking of MMA fighters crossing over, we also covered on the Monday show that, Canelo Alvarez is in talks with WWE right now. And Michael Chandler revealed to the Schmo that he's in talks with Triple H for a WWE run. And he names Rey Mysterio as his dream opponent. And he says he was talking to Triple H about my WWE contract, so we're trying to make things happen. He knows I want the door to be open, and I think he wants that door to be open too. Rey Mysterio would be freaking fun. It might be a little too acrobatic for me. Give me a little bit of training, and I'll be doing double backflips off and landing on people. Yeah, I mean... people think it's easy till they fucking do it. So I just don't know if Chandler really understands what that entails, but he can cut a good promo. So to see him do a one-off, if McAfee could, then I could see Chandler doing that. But it feels very TNA-ish to be, we're just going to bring in MMA guys, but hopefully they just don't work a shoot like they did with Kane, because that shit was a travesty. Logan Paul refused to sign someone's fake WWE Topps trading card, and he confirmed with Topps that this was fake. He identified that this card wasn't released yet, and people were like, oh, Logan Paul's smart and everything. I quote tweeted this and said, well, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. This is what it boils down to. If anyone knows a fucking scam, it's Logan Paul when he sees one. Hey, allegedly. You know what I'm saying, dude? We're fucking. This is South Park, bro. This ain't Coffee Pillow, okay? Here we go.
I don't think this is real. How did you get this? Huh? Oh, okay. How could you have already gotten it? It was out like 3 days ago. Nah, they didn't deliver it yet. This is a fake. This is a fake. No. There's no way you could have gotten this card. How?
Big Mike, Fox, he's asking Mike. Yeah, Fox. Mike, yeah, let me tell you the facts, Logan. Yeah, actually, that card's not out yet. I'll check with your dad. I'll tell you what, let me take the card and I'll sell it, because I took a hit on my house. Facts.
How could you have gotten this card in that fast? You're lying. That's a fake.
Yeah, if anyone knows a fucking scam, dude. So Zelina Vega says The Rock gave her the AJ Lee role in Fighting with My Family with no audition needed. Damn. So Pat, good for her. I don't know. I can't add anything to that. Good for her. That's probably the best feeling in the world. Anyone who's auditioned for anything knows how fucking horrifying and terrible that feeling is. And especially when you don't get the shit, when you thought you killed it and you're like, what the fuck? Pat McAfee explains his absence from the last 3 weeks of WWE Raw. And he says, continuing to just catch up on life as a whole, post Money in the Bank, pre-Night of Champions feels like a good time. I was getting pretty exhausted there, so shout out to everyone, to WWE looking out for me too. Very, very thankful. And now Dirt Sheets and Observers trying to spin it like I'm just exhausted at WWE, man. Guys, he's on a part-time thing, okay? McAfee comes and goes when he pleases. That's how they have it worked out with him. Sorry to inform you all if you haven't caught on yet. They don't just outright tell you that. And why? Well, because not everybody gets that special fucking privilege. And when one guy goes out there and says, I have that privilege, then everybody's going to expect that fucking privilege. So that's just all it is. He says, I'm working this week and this week and this week and this week and this. I'm not working this one. He gets the call, okay? And they're cool with it because he brings eyeballs, and they have Corey Graves who can rotate in and out and in and out. And we're playing all night, and the music's all right. Oh, yeah, dude. Mama got a squeeze box. Daddy never sleeps at night. Oh, yeah, dude. Who knows that shit? Let's go. But yeah, he's getting exhausted. Who ain't? It's summertime. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm tired. I got the 1-day flu, right? Who tells that joke? I think Ron White. I got a case of the 1-day flu. Anyways, John Cena was asked if he would ever join the MCU. We talked about the MCU earlier.
Ever going to be associated with the MCU?
Man, this kid knew he was last, didn't he? Yikes. You, sir, just became a man. So, I don't know who goes to these conventions, but if anybody in the MCU is in the room, I hope they heard that question and heard what I heard of like, man, we'd like to see John Cena as a Marvel superhero. Thank you for the applause. I know we all love a good rivalry, right? Here's what I know about comics and superheroes. They run parallel to sports entertainment fans. The fandom and the passion that I see in the superhero universe, whether it's DC or Marvel, reminds me of passionate WWE fans. Here is my vision. Here is my hope for the future. Everybody plays nice in the same sandbox. I would love.
Okay, so again, Phil Marks out. You'll hear me talking about this a lot. I don't want to stooge what's around the water cooler, okay? And but I'm going to on this show. Fuck it. And I've been talking to my wife about all this too a lot because I'm just gonna talk about it here. Fuck it. And James Gunn believes this too, man, that Marvel and DC in Hollywood and shit, they're already talking about how do we get these people to all cross over. In Secret Wars, we could see a seed planted to the next big MCU crossover event isn't Kang or the Beyond or whatever. The next big Avengers team up, Endgame, Infinity War, whatever is the Marvel Universe versus DC. Stooged it. And we okay. And so, or X-Files that actually, okay, because I don't know. This is South Park. I make all this shit up. I'm a dumb fuck. I don't know anything. And so James Gunn's already talking about it too. And he said in an interview, he's like, if other people are talking about the crossover, then why couldn't that happen? And that's why DC, I feel, in my opinion, and WBD are so confident letting Gunn, because he planned out 10 years. You guys gotta understand something. Those really good years of the MCU, it was everyone's like Feige's the worst, whatever. Gunn helped him lay out a bunch of that shit, and he like consulted, and the Russo brothers, like Feige was consulting with these guys. He had to bring the Russo brothers back to try and save fucking MCU with these Avengers flicks coming up. You know what I mean? And so with what Cena's saying here, I would really love if they could all play in the same sandbox. Well, he fucking we'll give him an allegedly because he might be fucking not just allegedly out of his ass here. Okay. And yeah, man, I think we're gonna get seeds planted. Maybe, I don't know if after Doomsday or whatever, but I think ultimately the next big thing and the reason they're so confident in, okay, this Superman, we're planning Batman, we're going to tie the Matt Reeves, the Batman movie into, that's another thing they're doing as well. James Gunn and DCU want that Matt Reeves Batman universe as part of the DCU. And Matt Reeves is like, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So that's going on as well. And so they want, if they're so confident, they're talking, WBD's talking about, we're dropping fucking 2 animated series, 1 movie, and 1 live action series a year or whatever for DC. They're already saying they're going to start doing that per year to build up their universe. And their universe building already. In Superman, James described it, heroes are already there for like 300 years. You know, like if you saw a shark guy walking down the street, you'd be like, holy shit, it's Shark Dude, you know? You wouldn't like freak out like, oh, it's an alien. They've already seen it. Like the universe already established. Why? Because they need to get to that point where by the end of this next Marvel phase, the big crossover events, DC versus Marvel, and DC, I think if they're banking on getting to that point, they think they can salvage this thing, and they have faith that James Gunn can help get them there because he helped get Marvel there. Okay? Now I'll hit another X-Files, goddammit. Subscribe to my other channel, youtube.com/@PhilMarksOut, and you will hear me break this shit down way more in depth. I promise you. Maybe I'll just rant about all of that tomorrow on that channel for you guys. Okay, and I'll do a little rehash for that channel. But Cena's not talking out of his asshole when he talks shit like this, okay? I assure you.
Iron Man to shake hands with Superman. Like, I would love to see all superheroes across all platforms.
And also, by the way, in the comics right now, they just did another big crossover with Kevin Smith. You guys know Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, right? He just wrote a crossover with Daredevil and Green Arrow, and they're doing Marvel DC crossovers right now. Now, they've done that throughout history. I'm pretty confident, Chad. It wouldn't be the first time. You boys been right about what Warner's got going on. Okay, so
be involved in a universe.
Well,
so if that happens and I get my wish as a member of the DC, I would essentially walk into the MCU. I don't write the checks and make the parts. So right now, my answer's got to be no. But I hope there is a world where I see all these passionate people come for comics and superheroes. I hope we can have different debates because everyone it'll just give us more stories to tell and more creativity. And I know I'm going to get punched in the face by critics for saying this, but my long-term vision is we can tell stories with characters from both sides of the fence.
Yeah, how I would do it, I would use these two Avengers movies to wrap up all the multiverse shit, cut it off completely. No more multiverse. No more what if, none of that shit. And then all of a sudden, like all this time later, there is like a riff in the multiverse again. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Who could it be? Oh, it's going to be like an Arrow shoots out and everyone's like, oh, it's a Hawkeye variant. Let's get him. But then it's like Green Arrow and DC people show up and they're like, what the fuck? You know, eventually you get there, right? That would be amazing. So Cena ain't just talking out of turn here. And Peacemaker, Deadpool, anyone? That'd be fucking funny. That'd be hilarious. And they're wrapping up the multiverse shit in DC as well. And Superman, I think, focuses a bit on that already, as far as like they're closing riffs off. Like, this is the prime Earth, you know, sort of what they had to do in the comics. I don't know if you guys follow that. Phil Marks out on YouTube. Triple H is slammed with racialist pirate insult and steroid user. So he gets called a steroid user and a fucking racialist pirate somehow. Okay. Somehow that makes sense. And Beast Mortis getting a fucking match against Paige. I wonder why. So on 10 Count Media, Ahmed Johnson says you have a racialist pirate at the helm, Triple H. I mean, like I said, he's a straight up racialist. He was very jealous that I came in and got this big push. He was Hurst Helmsley. Man, just a mid-carder. I don't know where he got off thinking he was one of the top guys back then. Because he wasn't. It was me, Shawn, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and Sid. Those were the top guys. Triple H just wasn't one of them. He didn't like me at all. He really didn't. And he wouldn't be where he is today if he didn't take those steroids. Ahmed, bro, you fucking come on, dude. Then they had to put him with China because he wasn't getting over. So they figured China would help, which she did. Bro, Shawn and... Like, I can't, if you're like, he's a racialist, okay, I wasn't there, I don't know. I don't think he is, but, you know, I don't know, but no, dude, Shawn and Triple H pitched China to WWE, and they didn't want to do it at first, then they bit and decided to do it, so that's just, that's wrong. They paired him with her, and she helped boost him a bit, then he married the boss's daughter, and the rest is history. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, you could, the boss's daughter thing is always there, but you see them to this day, how madly in love they are with each other, right, Chad? Like, we all see this day in and day out. I just think that's a wild accusation to keep throwing that out there. John Cena says he loves wrestling so much more than acting. He says at Fan Expo, to be quite honest, and this is not a knock, I don't think this is going to lose me any movie jobs because I do give my all to every opportunity I have. Just like we're here today, I'm trying to answer all your questions. I love wrestling so much more, so much more. There's no denying the magic in an arena for a live WWE broadcast. I love wrestling so much more, and I'm fine saying that. If that knocks me out of the movie business, I'll be accountable for saying that. No, it won't knock you out of the movie business. in Hollywood, you get to a point where you break through, and then you can like look at Mel Gibson, bro. You can just call your own shots. Look at what The Rock's doing. Look at Sandler. He's like, I just won't make movies for theaters anymore, and I'll just take $70 million a year from Netflix to make a Happy Gilmore flick with every fucking same joke that I already made all those years ago, and just resell it to you for $70 million. You know what I mean? You're allowed to do what you want now, John, and everybody understands that. There's no feedback like that live feedback that you get from a pro wrestling crowd, even being in a crowd. There's no crowd like that. You know, go to a soccer game. It ain't the same. I mean, yeah, soccer games can get fucking rowdy for sure. Locations, everything as well, right? But yeah, man, just no one's going to shun you for that. And it's fascinating. And everybody understands. Well, people should understand, like, if you've ever been on a set, man, people are sitting in trailers. You got motherfuckers sitting in trailers all day. You will do the same take. You will spend 12 hours on the same fucking thing and then come back the next day and a motherfucker will go, you gotta do that again, you know? It's horrible. And in WWE, you know, if it works right then, you get one shot, one moment, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. Would you capture it or just let it slip? Let me check them with chat, guys. Ray J's World has been a member for 3 months. I acknowledge all of my members, guys. Memberships are 99 cents Canadian. Okay, so get in on that and consider gifting one. Consider super chatting in and supporting what I do. And don't miss the live show Monday day. Okay, and that's my shill.
You gotta be a hoe.
And I even gave you guys a Blue Chew ad read because it was topical, and I don't like to do that because they don't pay me, but there was ads for it throughout AEW tonight, which is fucking hilarious.
Acknowledge me.
Phil, I wonder how Conrad having a podcast with Tony Khan would sound. Oh, well, let me stop you right there and tell you exactly how it would sound. It would sound something like this. So, Tony Khan, AEW is a healthy product, and I'm here for a healthy AEW. Tony Khan, tell us a little bit about your booking style. Chat me up about a healthy AEW. Oh, well, you know, it's great. Things are great, and everything's great right now. You know, John Moxley's great. We have a great show coming up, and we gave away we sold. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to be there, and it's going to be great. And Thecla's here, and Fatal 4-Way, sand in the eyes, run. Oh, come on. That's not very fair, Tony, to throw sand in my eyes when I just asked you an honest question. That's how it would sound. I imagine something like that. 626 says, yo, you almost said a boot. I heard it. Yeah, dude. I'll say that shit all the time. Fuck it. You know it. It's a boot. 626 again for 2 says, this show has been a PMO Trojan horse episode. Yes, straight up. It has been. Go and subscribe. I have no idea what you're even actually talking about, though. I don't shill anything to you guys, man. What are you talking about? Phil marks out. Guys, go and subscribe. Right now, 7 videos. I dropped 2 Superman video top 10s. I review stuff. Go and check it out. It's amazing stuff. Talk pop culture. I'm going to rant about all this Marvel shit tomorrow. How about that? Okay? Where are we? Regina Sharp for 5. Nobody buys the comics. Well, they do. Well, they do and they don't, man. We could get into that again. It's Phil marks out stuff. Soon, no one will go to the movies. They got to lower the movie costs and make good movies. That's the same with comics. They just make shitty comics. It's a bunch of people trying to be activists. That's what wrestling people are trying to do to wrestling. That's what I make fun of. Right? You're all trying to like be activists and it's fucking hacky. You know what I mean? I just want good Marvel movies. Just watch Iron Man 1 and then watch Ironheart and tell me objectively if Ironheart is good. It's not. That's the answer. It just isn't. I don't care about how many different... I don't care if Robert Downey Jr. gets on a fucking Zoom call and, you know, says it's God's gift to man. It doesn't change what reality is. Sure, why not? They can combine for a massive shit pile. Yeah, and some people will view it that way. Other people will consume it. So it's all up for debate and opinion. Round of applause for everybody who supports this show. I love you all. I love you all so much, man. Let's continue along. It's not even Flutes Out time yet, you fools. And we'll do Sickos on Sicko Saturday, okay? Because there's not even a lot in there, and we did one on Monday, just a really quick, brief one. But we're going to play some flutes tonight, guaranteed. And so Cody Rhodes says that we are at the tail end of his run as a babyface, so pretty much stooging what everybody knows and what I've been predicting here at PWT, but I just think they're going to milk it for longer than we might think as well. But they're obviously talking about it. It's obviously a thought that's out there.
You know, you're a Cowboys fan, Giants fans screaming your name. They love you.
Super quiet on their end.
Everyone loves you. Do you ever get sick of being the nice guy?
So I'm a Cowboys fan because my sister cheered for the Cowboys. I'm an Eagles fan because
that's not a lot.
Yeah, so I won in their stadium at WrestleMania, and they've hosted me and treated me like family. And I'm a Falcons fan because I grew up in Georgia, and that's a hard fandom to be part of. So I really don't have an allegiance. I'm open for business. I am open for business, and that helps with the being a good guy.
Okay, so you can't do that. You can't be a fan of then you're not a fan of them. You're a fan of the NFL. That's what you say. I like the NFL, but I don't have one team. You don't just go, oh, I'm a fan of these 12 fucking teams. Fucking bandwagoner.
I don't ever get tired of it because you get to have all of this in these moments. I do think we're probably at the tail end of it, though, because there's only so much someone can like you. I would love to do it till the end of my career.
I'll go live on PWT, or I will record and upload a video of me ranting, one of the two, just sometime tomorrow. No set time yet.
But there's only so much. It's like, all right, we do his woe, we cheer for him. At a certain point, they want to see somebody else. I get that, and that's where you have to change as a character. So,
Cody, how will I know when you're going down that path? How will I know?
You'll know because X and Instagram will hate it. Because today heels are like, oh, that's a cool heel. We're loving John Cena. No, if you're burying it and hate it and talking about how you don't want it on your TV, that's what an actual bad.
How long are we talking? Like a month by the end of Fanatics games? Like how long do I have of you being the good guy?
I think you have a good solid year, maybe even 3 years. Because
There you go. See, yeah, long term, maybe even 3. 1 to 3 is his range. Okay. So that's a long ass time. So they're just playing it by ear. You know, it could happen this year. We'll see how the merch sales and how over he stays as a babyface. So Ego Page gets catcalled on the Giga Chad Van Vliet pod. Chris Van Vliet used to that, I'm sure. But here's all Ego getting catcalled.
Get comfortable? Is that okay?
Please get comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, these pants are tight and this jacket is hot. I'm gonna go. Sir, this is a very small room. I know exactly who said that.
Wait a sec. What's going on here?
So if it's gay, it's okay. But if like straight people did this, they'd be like, oh my God, how dare you sexualize?
Guy is very excited to see you. Wow. You comfortable now?
Not yet. I'm actually more uncomfortable than I was before this started. You can thank those two gentlemen right there.
Yeah, there you go, dude. So John Cena says there have been a ton of pivots during his WWE retirement tour. He told Collider that there's no more adaptable form of storytelling than WWE. WWE can change a story as it happens live. You're seeing so far over the farewell tour dates, the 18 of 36 so far. We've made a ton of pivots right there and in the moment. So I believe Triple H over these fucking marks. And I believe when people say, yeah, we worked this or we didn't work that. I believe I can fly. But I'll just take it from the horse's mouths. NXT will be holding a double taping. So that was last night. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens talk about their indie runs and how some former WWE superstars overcharge for bookings. And that is happening now. And it's not really their fault. Like, everyone got priced out. If you worked for WWE, that means you're worth more than an AEW person. But some of these AEW people who hit the indies were getting paid 6 figures and not doing shit. And no indie promoter is going to give them 10 or 5 grand even, right? And then you're a WWE person and you should be more valuable than that. And you can't diminish your value. And it's a fucking mess. It really is. It's fucking AEW really messed up the indies and a lot of these people's careers with these big pays early on, man. Like, it didn't help anybody, man.
But I do love it. I mean,
it helped their bank accounts, but then what do you fucking, then you can't get hired anywhere. So did it really? I hope you saved your money. I hope he could have ran a Ring of Honor invasion storyline with him as the ROH world champ, cutting promos. You sons of bitches took a then he loses to Omega, and Omega unifies the titles, or Mox or whoever, absorbs it, and then they go away, and then Jay Lethal slowly gets integrated back in AEW as like he signs, and that's part of his storyline. Well, he bites the bullet and signs on as an AEW talent, and then Ring of Honor comes back and Tony brings back the old silver and red titles, and then it's now like their NXT. That's how you fight. And it's Ring of Honor reborn, though, right? And then Tony could have marketed it that way. Well, yeah, we can't be the old Ring of Honor. Like, that's dead. We're not the old Ring of Honor. But no, Tony just wants to, I want to be the old Ring of Honor. He wants to cosplay old Ring of Honor aesthetically, and he just has no plan for it. And instead of like, no, we reinvigorated and reinvented it as a place where young talent get developed and maybe indie stars you wouldn't see, and da-da-da-da. We're going to put it on YouTube so we reach our widest audience. We believe that da-da-da-da-da-da. The future stars of tomorrow start here. I mean, look at WWE with Logan Paul. Even he started on YouTube and da-da-da-da-da-da. You could just pitch it that way and be like, show people you're like a good cognitive businessman with a plan and shit. But instead it's like, Athena, you just take this belt and like hang out here for a while. We'll be back in like 2 years. Just hang out. Here's a warehouse. Here's how you work the CAD. They're on. Just go ahead and, get it. It was sick in TNA, bro. Mike and Maria versus Brandy and Cody Rhodes, like that feud when he floated through there, that was lit, man. But Kevin Owens has a point, and it galvanized the sickos and the wackos and the people who are real deep in like the indie / like outside of WWE sphere. But then WWE people were excited because it's like, oh, and I'm going to wrestle Kurt Angle. And yeah, I remember the package pause when or the little vignette promo video when Cody Rhodes he like steps out of a car. I can't remember what he does. He like pulls up, he gets out of a car, him and his wife, and he's in the suit, and he challenged Mike Bennett on Impact. I remember being like, holy shit,
The one that you were more like, I don't know, man, was Moose. Yeah, I think the one you were more, and a lot of those were.
People hate on Moose, but he was cooking too. And then Moose went on, had a match, and he was feuding Bennett as well for a bit there, I believe. And then Moose had a match with Rhodes.
Remember,
it's so funny. AEW's like, we're the challenger brand, da, 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 da. And I'm so happy that they can comp 18,000 tickets for the show or whatever, right? And I am so happy for them, but. Like, truly, I love pro wrestling, so I'm okay. Like, I don't care if we lie about the attendance. Okay, WWE did that too. I don't care. Where's Meltzer spurging out about it is all I'm asking, right? And that's why I'm hypercritical of it, because if you guys aren't all going to be critical of this, then someone has to be, goddammit. I'm Batman in this moment. No, not to steal Cody's shtick, but here's the thing. This is what I'm asking, or this is what I'm saying. Rhodes is sitting here talking about, like... Rhodes is just sitting here talking about, like, yeah, I ran this indie thing and then I started AEW. Like, he's sunning AEW by even saying all this shit. Been there. Yeah, I own that shit. We're 2 Fed guys doing our Wheatley Fanatics pod, and we're like leagues above that. And you remember these when I left, and that, that rinky dink Ring of Honor and fucking AEW that I helped build and all this shit. He's talking about it like he started this Fed and left it, and it's like a bygone fucking thing. You know what I mean? This is almost like sunning them in a way. And that's what people don't understand. The perception of WWE is so much greater of AEW. That'll never change. And people like to cop out and say, well, that's why, the fans are more, that's why AEW won't ever get as popular. But that's not true. It's because of how they position themselves. AEW positions themselves on equal footing to New Japan and Ring of Honor and all this other shit. When they worked with TNA, what happened? Kenny Omega was like doing shit for the world title, and they were on even playing field. With ROH, they're on an even playing field. Jericho, who's the AEW champ, can win the Ring of Honor title and go toe-to-toe with the, top AEW guy. New Japan, when Swerve won the title, they didn't give him a big rollout. Moxley wins the New Japan title. They give him a big rollout on Dynamite, where he kicks off the show, and it's a big celebration, and he has the New Japan title, and they're like, oh, look what he's got. Man, it's so fucking dumb the way they position themselves, and that's it right there as well. Like, that's a fumble, right? We talk about the list of fumbles. That's a fumble. How did you fumble the positioning of your league and federation against these other feds? WWE sits around and talks about AEW and Ring of Honor like it ain't nothing, man. Oh, but they're counter-programming them. So? Called him Harvey Weinstein. He shouldn't have did that then, and this wouldn't have been happening. He shouldn't have said bald assholes, and then this wouldn't be happening. You know what I'm saying, man? He shouldn't have did all that. He shouldn't have talked shit about John Cena and Undertaker. Undertaker now, who's like in creative and is best friends with Triple H and Shawn. And you talk shit. They didn't get $1 million. You're an idiot, bro. You brought this upon yourself. And that's the funny thing. And Rhodes just talks about, yeah, I started that company, but now we're here doing real business. And like, it wild, those wild times when I came up with this list, and it basically led me back to true success here in my home in WWE. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, that's all AEW and his journey was to get him back to WWE. That's what, I don't know, God laid it out, or simulation theory, whatever you believe in. That was his journey in life. That was his fate. If you believe in that sort of shit, right? His destiny was back in WWE. And not only that, but as the top guy that he saw himself as, that nobody really saw him as during the end of his run there. And so it's just kind of funny how I've been there, done that. It's like hearing old timers talk about WCW. It reminds me of the same thing. Anyways,
I remember
saw Cody Rhodes put over a fucking local guy who's starting to build up his name, and it was in butt fuck nowhere. And he stayed and talked to everybody, and he fucking put over this wrestler, and it was like there's no way, like, Rhodes, you know what I mean? For sure, like, took a pay hit on that as well. Like, he probably could have asked for way more, like some of these shows he did, and that's how he built up that good faith in AEW too, man. They really got like the internet fans and the indie wrestling fans excited. And it's really unfortunate, man, the way the Bucks and Kenny had that following, and the Bucks did too. And just the Bullet Club and the Elite in general started to get that following. Cody Rhodes had that following. And then it all culminated. And then it was all for naught. They had over 1 million viewership, and it was all for naught. They were beating NXT handily, whooping their ass, all for naught. NXT, Triple H spent years building NXT. They were whooping it. They're just getting lit, talking shit, man. I absolutely love that. So official from Netflix Sports, WWE Unreal Season 1 will release on July 29. I'm like, bro, I don't have time to do shit in my life. I gotta watch this shit too. What the fuck? For the first time ever, step into the WWE writer's room and outside the ring with your favorite WWE superstars, where the drama is just as intense off stage as it is under the spotlight. All right, I'm ready. I'm here for it. We'll give it a chance. I think I'm going to fall in love with the show. Speaking of falling in love, everyone's in love with Lola Vice, and she talks to Uncle Bully about her evolution in NXT.
This
Shadow busted open after dark.
Year more than ever, I see myself performing and becoming the Lola Vice that I've always had a vision for in my mind.
Tell me about your vision for Lola Vice.
The best version of myself possible. But for example, a vision of me, Lola Vice, was Worlds Collide. That show made me so happy for so many reasons. But when I watched it back, I said, that's Lola Vice. Like, I was so happy to partner with Stephanie. Stephanie, number one, she's a Latin woman that I admire. I think she's so humble. She works so hard, and she deserves to be here. She worked very hard in her life to get here, and she deserves everything she has right now. And also, I don't know if Worlds Collide was considered an NXT show, but it was her last NXT match. That was an honor. But Also, it was an opportunity for me to represent my culture. And yes, like, you know, AAA is a Mexican promotion.
See, now she's got to respond to fucking Dave Meltzer. Yes, you know, it's a Mexican promotion. Like, why is that even on her mind? Because Meltzer floated it out there, and she goes on Twitter and she has to see a bunch of fucking restarts going, yeah, and she's not even Mexican. Can you guys believe she's not even Mexican? Ugh. Fuck, man. It's so disappointing. And that's directly because of Dave. We're about to fucking play flutes in a minute.
Poor people don't like AEW.
Yes, like, you know, AAA is a Mexican promotion, but I'm the first Cuban American woman in this company. I am the first one. And to see myself on that stage, a Hispanic-based show, to me, I felt like I honored, or I checked off something in my destiny that I was meant to do, and I honored my grandparents who immigrated to this country.
Imagine being like, well, she's not a Mexican, though. Like, what the fuck? Dude. There's a whole bunch of different Latinos in America and shit, bro. You are wilding out of control. Dave's
Give me a
wilding
better
lately,
life and
man.
give me opportunity, and I was able to make them proud.
And she has to like say that because that's what people are saying. So that's on her mind in answering this question. It's kind of sad. It is sad like for the IWC, not for her. She just handles it like a pro because that's what she is. That, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE News. Okay. We have flutes. We are going to be playing flutes all through the night. Yeah. Okay, let me just get organized here. I had to clear out some of this old Dave stuff. I don't know if I have it downloaded or not, because some of it's like, we need these for the next music video. Okay, yeah, okay, we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we need flutes in the chat, please and thank you. I want to see flutes. Let me check in here. King Dingaling for 5 says, if it's not crucial to backstory or changes nothing, then shut the fuck up. But a character like Magneto is directly attached to a specific history, so it depends. What are you talking about? Like, are you talking about how like he was in World War II and shit? You know, World War II like outdates him though, so I don't mind. And also, Magneto's World War II past, if that's what we're going into Phil Marks Out stuff again. That is that wasn't added till way after, anyways. Too, you can fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure that wasn't added till like way after for his character anyways. So I get it, and I do like that that's the best one. Like, we saw it in the fucking Bryan Singer X-Men movies or whatever. But that's who made those, right? Am I just tripping now? Bryan Singer? Am I fucking around? Let me just type it in. Bryan Singer X-Men. So that's gonna bug me until I fact check it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there you go. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Thank you. Yes, but don't fuck with. I get it. I don't like when they switch up characters too much. But always remember, you have to make creative choices and strong ones at that. And you have to stand on your shit, because you can never be one-to-one adapting from movies, especially working with studios. You'll never be one-to-one with a comic book. All you can do is try and make it your own. And for instance, this is why people giving James Gunn a hard time. It's like, shut the fuck up and wait. Okay? Because look at what Chris Nolan did with Batman. A lot of people were like, what? This is all fucking dumb. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is shitty. And then he made it his own thing, and he made it ultra like realistic and gritty. And it, you know, he made it work, and he made it his own thing, and it was ultra successful. So just give it a shot. Okay. Just wait. Anyways, let's get into fucking people tuning out again. No, only like 4 people. Let's get into this next segment, the last segment, everybody's favorite segment. And yeah, I love seeing the flutes. Have we been cooking tonight, chat? Has this been a very good, entertaining show for you all? I would love to know if you've been enjoying it. So just let me know. And I just need to do one thing off screen here. And okay, ladies and gentlemen, where's your flutes at? I see them all. It is time for everybody's favorite segment across the entire IWC, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. So Meltzer said what says Dave is the Nick Castellanos of wrestling media, but instead of hitting home runs during extraordinary events, he logs on Twitter to cry about something that happened in AEW 3 years ago. So let's take a look here. Dave was freaking out about Punk owes him an apology, talking about Tony Khan. And so this guy Goldstein Jr. and Sons says, if CM Punk were to leave right now, there's no way Tony would take him back. Why are you guys even talking about this? He ain't never coming back. Tony would take him back because he has a hardened heart, can't forgive, even if it's best for business. If that were Vince, he would blah, 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 Vince McMahon. What do you mean, man? Tony, Big Swole said Tony smoked her weed, and he wouldn't fucking hire her. What are you talking about? Or he wouldn't re-sign her. Dave Meltzer goes, this isn't going to happen, but if Punk came to Tony and apologized to him and the other key people.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
We fucking broke this down. So he had a meeting set up in Atlanta. The Elite bailed. Kenny Omega said he was down to talk to Punk. That was cool. They tried to set up another conversation before All In. The Bucks turned it down. Punk was informed by their lawyer, don't talk to them, only talk to lawyers or whatever. Don't talk to us, talk to our lawyers. So how was he supposed to do that? Punk even pitched himself to be in the Blood and Guts match against the Elite and said, let's make some money and heat it up. He was going to be the mystery guy. They turned that down. They were too scared to do it. Why? Why? I really wonder. The best guy is
Tony Khan.
Oh, yeah, he should apologize to them. What should he tweet it out? Like a little bitch? Or can they be men and work it out, dude? This is crazy. Okay? And then Dave has this to say. He'd take him back in a heartbeat, but it's not worth debating because it both can't happen and won't. Why can't it happen, Dave? Explain that part. Because the Bucks are salty bitches. And why won't it? Because they're all bitches and Punk is going to drown that company. That's his goal. He wants to fucking drown that company now. I'm sorry. You did that to people. You did that to Cody Rhodes too. Cody Rhodes had to fucking like self-sabotage himself out of AEW because he saw the writing on the wall. Right? So it's just straight cope from these guys constantly. And so he continues along. DFT Lewis says, why should CM Punk apologize? Dave says, for a series of actions that caused an independent legal investigation. Okay, then Moxley should apologize. Well, how do you know he didn't behind the scenes? Well, we don't. Make it public then. Or don't talk shit about some shit 3 years ago. Why aren't you keeping the same fucking energy about Moxley who pushed a guy? If Tony Khan feared for his life from what we saw on that camera, then that guy feared for his life getting thrown to the ground by Moxley. And that camera could have landed on his head and injured him and killed him. Dave, so that's what you're saying right there. An independent legal investigation team and an internal legal team and the company's disciplinary committee headed by Brian. He's just listing it like all the Wikipedia stuff. He's just listing it like Wikipedia nonsense. And Danielson even. So trust Danielson if he says it's unsafe. No, if Danielson's sitting in a room and everyone in the room is like, oh my God, can you believe it? He's gonna, and then Danielson's like, yeah, I guess it's unsafe. I vote on it too. Like if everyone, what is he gonna do, man? Everybody's milking the money mark, Dave. Holy fuck. To unanimously recommend his firing. Yeah, because he was gonna keep smacking people out. That's why. That's why Danielson recommended it. Everyone, even me, I'd recommend it too. Just get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not even on you. Take this money. Or I'd fire the other people. But the question wasn't, should we fire the EVPs? Or should we fire their little friend Jack Perry? The question is Punk getting fired? Well, he pushed him. And some people would say a fucking push compared to shooting a double leg or a single leg. If someone pushes you, I mean, that means they're not even fully trying to throw hands yet. Like, you have the opportunity to gauge the situation, right? Perry shot in for a single, meaning what? He was engaging in the combat. I'm sorry, that's what that means, right? He's not some amateur wrestler. He thought he could take Punk down and start fighting him. That's what it is. Okay? And it's cool to see that Perry has fight over flight in that instance with Punk. He thought he could take him. But, like, that's what happened. It was mutual at that point. You don't shoot in. He's not like some amateur freestyle fucking, like, you know what I mean? He didn't back down. He fucking shot back in. It could have just been a shoving match. How many of you, chat, have seen shoving matches break out that get resolved and people get in between and two dudes just shove each other back? Perry shot in for a single leg, bruv. I mean, I'm sorry. You fucking, it is what it is, dude. He engaged. At least that's the way I saw it. And then also, like, the way Joe had to hold him back proved that as well. Joe picked him up like a baby, carried him to the wall, and Jack's yelling shit, pointing, trying to squirm out of Joe's arms. So what is he doing? Trying to get to Punk. Every man who's ever been a man ever, he's a man. Anyone who's ever been a fucking man ever, who's ever seen or been in a confrontation, understands what happened there. Jack was down to fight Punk. You're a fucking idiot if you watch that. Why would Punk have to apologize? They both should apologize. And Punk tried to apologize and he was told to talk to lawyers. So Dave, you're just like, this is so dumb. It's so dumb to, like, just cope over this, because that's all it is from that side of shit. I'm sorry. It is. Jack Perry's friends will tell you.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
You know, poor people don't like AEW.
So moving along here, Meltzer said, what expands upon the last post? Dave just, never ceases to amaze. So Dave's right. I've never heard of a case where the group who were appointed or hired and tasked with investigating an internal conflict coincidentally came to the same conclusion as those who write their checks for said investigation. A private team was hired. Yeah, so the Bucks are EVPs. So they hired a private team who investigated some shit and came to the conclusion Punk was at fault here. No shit, really? No fucking doubt. What were the lawyer? What was the firm called? Jackson and Perry's? Right? So again, Omega and Jackson's, right? So Dave Meltzer comes back and says, I guess this guy rebuts and says, and what caused those actions, Dave? EVP spreading rumors and then shooting on him. Punk had every right to defend himself. Dave Meltzer says multiple groups investigated and came to a unanimous decision. They know the situation better than you. Perhaps you could in fact recognize this end result from people who know the situation better and are far wiser and ask why. So what Dave is arguing is that there's no injustices. They locked that guy up who didn't even murder his family. And 20 years later, just accept it. Meanwhile, 20 years later, he gets released from prison and sues for $39 million. Oh, just accept it. Yeah, there's a reason NDAs were signed and they had to pay Punk out and people might get sued and all this shit, Dave, too. You're an idiot, bro. You're a ball-kissing idiot. And you're literally sitting there saying, no, people can't be wrongfully convicted or no one's ever been bought or paid out in an investigation, especially an independent one at that. Imagine I hire a fucking PI to investigate some shit. You don't think they're going to try and come to me with something that might keep me giving the money a little bit longer? Even in instances like that, Dave, you're a fucking moron. They know way better. They're far wiser than you. Why? Because the people who pay them to do this investigation, and then they instructed Tony Khan to say he feared for his life, but now Moxley can push people though, and cameras can literally fall on them, not wobbly monitors. Oh, they knocked over monitors. The monitors like wobbling. this camera guy, a fucking camera gets dropped on him while he gets shoved to the ground from Moxley, and that guy's didn't fear for his life. You guys are getting sued. I hope you know that. Allegedly, I'm a dumb fuck. I'm Eric Cartman. The Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Oh my god! Yes, let's go, dude.
Wrestling's not fake!
So, alone in the assassination of JFK, the commission determined that Oswald fired the fatal shots. We investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, he's just showing instances of people saying, I investigated myself and I found we did nothing wrong. That's what AEW did ultimately at the end of the day. So AEW Mole posts this. It's a screenshot. So Dave Meltzer says, look, I can't say I know the real number, and the Bethel number feels high to me, although I did an unscientific poll. Unscientific. Is this a meme? Is this someone making fun of Meltzer? Poll that rendered results consistent with his report and wrote a detailed story on his report. That said, the idea the number is small or insignificant because you're afraid of This is really Dave saying this. Man, Dave, you corroborated Bethel's number. Although his numbers align with mine based on my polls, and I corroborated that number to him, Dave, I wonder why his numbers are close to your fucking polls and the number you corroborated based off your polls.
Stupid idiot.
What the fuck? Is this for real? He really tweeted this? Whoa. He says, look, I can't say I know the real number and the Bethel number feels high to me. So you agree it's not 500,000, but when people say it's not 100,000, you have a problem with that. When people say it's not NBA numbers, you have a problem with that, though. And you corroborate Bethel's bullshit numbers. And in brackets, you say, although I did an unscientific and unscientific, Dave, what are you doing? Poll that rendered results consistent with his report. So you ran independent polls that are consistent with his report, and then he named you as one of the people who corroborated his number, and you won't cop to that. And you keep doing this. Well, I won't say that that's accurate, although I did do this, but I think it's high, but I corroborated it according to him. And the numbers are close to your poll that you did unsigned, and you're wondering where those fake numbers came from and why you're getting accused of fake fucking numbers. Whoa, dude, we've gone too far. I've gone fucking cross-eyed. We've gone so far down into the fucking multiverse of madness here. What is going on, man? How is he not in a home? How is he allowed to print things in writing and have people read them? This is insane. YouTube, you need to fucking ban content like this. Disinformation. We got a disinformation campaign. What the fuck? What is going on, man? It's just, this is when people use the word incestuous. This is what I mean. It's masturbatory. I sound like Bischoff, but that's the only conclusion you come to at the end of it. It truly. And wrote a detailed story on his report. That said, the idea the number is smaller, insignificant because you're afraid of AEW success is really telling on yourself. No one's afraid, Dave. You're afraid of WWE success. That's why you don't talk about their success. Get it? You're projecting. You have a sociopathic, narcissistic, it's called Darvo or whatever, and you're deflecting. And then the last stage of that is you get offensive. And now you're just offending everyone. You're attacking everyone because you have nothing left to stand on. You're a fraud and a phony. A big fat phony. So Dave Meltzer says the perfect thing for Naomi to cash in is Jade Cargill as champion as far as how the storyline goes. No, Dave, as we broke down on PWT as well, it's not for her to be cashed in on as champ. It's cash in, 3-way, Naomi pins, Jade chases still. That's the best way, Dave. You're not a good booker. Okay? Write your shit down, your little fucking shit sheet, and leave the booking to competent people. And Jade was supposed to be champion if she hadn't gotten hurt. Someone verify that. Jade was supposed to be champion by WrestleMania and defending it at WrestleMania. Dave, are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. WWE reportedly banned any mention of the Iran-Israel crisis on Raw. So think about how fucking dumb Dave is, dude. Coming up next, Penta versus Braun Breaker. And folks, just so you know, Iran has used another AI video to threaten our democracy and military bases around the Middle East. Like, what? Why the fuck would they talk about that on their wrestling show? I don't get it. So Dave goes, they weren't allowed to reference the Iran-Israel crisis. Okay, neither was the show fucking The Pit or whatever. What's the number one show on Max again? The Pit, right? They didn't talk about it either, bro. Shut up. You know, that's probably one of the reasons why they weren't allowed to address it, because I don't think they wanted those questions being asked as far as everything, Brian. Who would ask the questions? You all asked the questions and spurged out about it. And then 2 days later, none of you are even talking about this shit anymore because it's just on to the next thing. It's just brainless zombie click slop. People just fucking pushing slop into their brains. And then the next day they're over it. And that's all I tried to tell everyone. And people are there. Oh, you fucking sheep. Some of my own followers talking shit to me. Still, get off politics, man. Stick to the fuck. Okay, shut up. How about fuck you? How about that? But it's like, yeah, dude, it's just people blowing shit out of proportion, you know? I pray for no war and shit. Hug your loved ones. And UFC, just be calm and rational like me, like your boy Phil. And all you can do, if you're one of these Sports Illustrated wrestling journalists, you can look at other sports and illustrate how Baku in Azerbaijan went down the day that all this shit was going down. And the next day, Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree, 2 Americans, were likely still there in their hotel rooms getting fucking massages and being flown out on private planes as this is all going down. Bordering Iran. So it's like, I'm sure TKO had it under control. That's all. That's what I put my chips on. If I was a betting man, they have it all under control and it'll be more than likely fine. That was my opinion on it. Some people didn't like that opinion. Turns out I was more or less right. So, and no one's talking about it anymore. No one cares. So Meltzer gets into it with Glenn Gilberti, as he often does on this show. And so Dave talks about cage match again. So this boozy guy says, if that's the best face versus face match in this guy's memory, that just goes to show how little his star rating should matter. So again, Danielson Ospreay, like that's what he says is his best one-on-one or whatever, face versus face match. Meltzer says, well, cage match has it at number 3 behind the 2003 Misawa versus Kobashi match and the Tanahashi versus Ibushi G1 match. You could make an argument for any of the 3. So as far as consensus, I'm guessing I'm closer to reality than those insulting me are. He thinks cage match is consensus, man.
Brian.
Dude. Consensus on cage matches, EJ Nduka is a 10-star wrestler or whatever because of people going on there and fake rating stuff. Dave, you guys are nuts, man. This guy, Hassan Smollett, says using cage match as a qualified metric is like a Trump supporter using a Newsmax poll as a qualified metric of Trump's popularity. Okay, I don't know what Newsmax is. That's a deep cut, but I'll assume he was cooking there. And then Dave goes, yes, there are some people who get mad at early results and vote down the best matches there. Who get mad at early results. No one cares enough to even go there and vote, and the people who do like that shit, so they're going to vote it high and they're going to vote WWE low. Just like you, Dave. You're in a bubble. You're in a bubble. But the matches that are at the top are going to be among the best in history. Why? So he thinks that the best matches, like there's an influx of people who go there, or is it just a bunch of marks who are going to vote that style of wrestling the highest rated, Dave, who agree with your style? And Glenn Gilberti says cage match is an irrelevant metric to any competent promoter, rather. It actually can be correlated with the opposite of what the narrative would say. Fucking spitting, dude. Bars. Your YouTube is hacked. So where's the fucking picture? Did I not bookmark my own post? Because I was the one who threw it up there. I don't think I did. So Dave Meltzer. I have to search my own Twitter here now. Hacked. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure how that happened. Latest. Oh my goodness. Are you really doing here? I'll find this here. Hacked. And then hopefully we find it. Okay, so people are asking me, has Dave's account been hacked? Here, I need to find it. Where is it, man? Did I get like a fucking banned post or something? Oh, here we go. Found it. Thank God. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, E-flute moment for me. I'm like, did I get hacked? What the fuck? So Dave Meltzer and Brian, they got hacked by one of these fake Elon. Now you guys see these. YouTube's getting bad with like these AI ads and like these channels they get hacked, and then people go, it's Elon, Tesla, tune into this live stream. Then they just play some video of them from years ago, and they try and like milk money and shit off people. I don't really know what this scheme is, but they got hacked. Okay, and their fucking account got turned in F4W online, and then they put a TV at the end, unless that was already there, but it got turned into like a Teslon live Elon. There were 1.5K watching their fucking stream. They had bigger viewership watching their fucking Elon stream than their normal streams, dude. And dude, it's so fucking funny that this happened. And it sucks that people get hacked, but people were like, man, Dave's probably arguing with bots again, and click some fucking link on Twitter that one of them sent them, because he's an idiot, man. And yeah, he got fucking hacked, and Brian addressed it. And I don't know, it's just funny that it got turned into like an Elon thing. That's how you know it came from someone on Twitter, in my opinion, too. Because there's so many like body Elon motherfuckers out there now. But that is pretty hilarious, man. And so Brian, someone says, your YouTube is hacked. Brian's like, yes. And then he says, YouTube update. It appears we got the page back. We couldn't go live tonight, but the Brian and Vinny show will be posted in the morning, and hopefully we'll be back live for all the rest of the shows going forward. If not, they'll be posted soon after recording. Then you got to change your banners back and shit. It's just so shitty. I feel bad for them. But who knows how that even happened, and like why they're YouTube specifically. That's what interests me. So Brian Alvarez, speaking of Brian, we end with a trying Brian here. Okay. Brian says someone in WWE messaged him about having people from AEW on his show. And he says, I had a buddy in WWE who was all mad. Oh, your coworker was on. He says, I was like, listen, if you didn't work for a weird cult, I'd have you guys on every single week. So Brian calling WWE a weird cult. Meanwhile, Ariel Helwani can't even get WWE people on. He has to settle for fucking Cora Jade on his show. Well, he got Karrion Kross on, but like he can't get AEW people on other than MJF. MJF's the only one allowed to go do anything. And I promise you guys, behind the scenes, there's more AEW people who are scared about who they can interact with and what pods they can do and who they can talk to and who they can interact with publicly than WWE folks. I assure you of that. Okay. And you see WWE folks do lots of pods and go off doing lots of shit. Tony he buckled down about that, especially after the Ariel shit and how they got clowned. So yeah, just Brian being like, WWE's a cult and you can't have anyone on your show or whatever. Is that what he's saying? Because like an AEW guy was on his show, right? That's what I'm getting from this. You want someone from WWE on the show every single day. You think I'm going to say no? You kidding me? WWE don't let anyone come on the show. AEW does. So don't whine about it. Don't cry about it. Brian, you're whining and crying, bro. Oh, God, I hate this is why Brian doesn't get a fucking pass. I don't care what anyone says. It's this schmarmy, condescending shit. Okay? You guys are like, ever since that Ariel shit, we all know people attack Ariel for being a shill too. And he has people leaving WWE come on the show. No one from AEW goes on there. Why? You guys fucking suck Tony Khan's dick, and that's what Dave Meltzer does constantly, and that's why they don't fuck with you, bro. Okay? And no one's whining and crying. Well, maybe your friend is anecdotally, but there's plenty you can cry about. That's not one of them. If Kevin Owens wants to come on and talk about his neck, let's do it. If John, okay, but he doesn't want to talk about his neck because you dirt sheet fucking Mark Clowns released the shit before he could. And he got mad about, you guys took that from me. My own fucking announcement. You took the power away from me to announce my own fucking career. Brian, do you ever think about that? Maybe that's why he's crying, because you hide it when it's Danielson, but you fucking stooge it out there if you can for WWE, and then you can't wait to stooge all AEW shit because you know it, as far as people coming in to try and build hype. And then for WWE, you guys are boo-booing over this Saudi Arabia shit. You sit there and pretend like, oh, I guess Moxley kind of did something bad. And then Filthy Tom Lawler and Lance Storm have to be like, yeah, he did something bad. Like, what do you mean, dude? You can't do that. And Alvarez is like, I guess they're just throwing everything at him. That's why, bro. It's not crybaby. You guys are always coping all the time. And that's why the reaction to you is unfavorable. Like, imagine you're that guy. You're the dickhead. Everyone's like, fuck this guy. We don't want to hang out with this guy. And then everyone's like, why doesn't anyone want to hang out? And then the dude's like, why doesn't anyone want to hang out with me? You know what I mean? Well, bro, we try to point out to you what you do wrong and you won't accept it, you know, and it's fucked up. Like, our social are we wrong that we're like, fuck that, you know? So they just won't get it because they're just trapped in this bubble paradox. So don't whine about it. Okay, if Kevin Owens wants to come talk about the neck, yeah, he definitely doesn't want to talk about that to you, Marks. But that won't happen. Yeah, because you guys all stooged it and talked about it before he had a chance to. And that's why Brian doesn't get a fucking pass with your boy Phil. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, Dumb Moment of the Week. I want to thank you all for coming and watching this show. Round of applause for the PWT universe. You guys are amazing. There was like 400 watching tonight across everywhere. If you're on X, come subscribe to YouTube. Please, please, please. It's worth it. The Patreon's worth it. The membership is worth it. The Monday shows are worth it. I go off on those shows too. So guys, this Saturday during the day, I'll be on an hour before what is it called? Crown Jewel or Super Showdown or Night of Champions or whatever goes down. Okay. I will be on an hour before that goes down. We'll do a Sickos Wackos segment. We'll be on for the day. That'll be the Saturday live stream. Usually it goes on in the evenings. Become a member, become a patron, get access to Member Mondays. If you're subscribed over at Phil Marks Out, I'm going to upload something for you guys tomorrow. I'll probably rant about that Marvel shit more. Maybe even I'll do a live stream, see if maybe Hughley or someone cool can cut Hughley. Just give him all these dumb names. Appreciate you all. You're all goated. And yeah, man, it's a hot lucha summer. It's a hot summer in general. It's heating up. I hope you're all doing well. Stay hydrated. Thank you again. I had a blast tonight. This flew by 4 hours. I had so much fun tonight. You guys are amazing. Couldn't do it without you. Yes, I'll be on JJ Alexander's show. Shoot me a DM with the time. I don't know if we set the actual time. I'll be on that tomorrow. And I think I'm on Toonie Talk TV. I don't think I got a time for that either. Motherfuckers got to start DMing me. No, I love you guys. And I'm not going to check in all my DMs. I got to be honest. I get lots from lots of people that I don't I just can't get it. It's so much. I get lots of emails too. And yeah, anyways, though, I appreciate you all and every single one of you who send me shit and everything. I promise I do get around to it. Everyone knows that too. You all know I do get around. I do respond. I try and talk to everyone, but with comments and then sleuthing the news, it's a lot of work. But whatever. You guys don't care about that. You care about the entertainment. And I was thoroughly entertained, man. I popped myself a bunch tonight. I hope I cooked for you guys. And yeah, I'm going to go watch some fucking Final Destination 4. I think I'm on with my beautiful wife. So round of applause for me. Round of applause for you all. Until next time. I bid you adieu. And I will see you all in the Upside Down. See you Saturday. Peace.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
God damn it.